words, bro.
Yeah, but no, it was
Hands up, hearts open, wide as we cry.
God, we lift your name high. Hands up, hearts open, wide as the sky. We lift you high.
Heavenly Father, we just want to say thank you, Lord, for this time of fellowship. Thank you for this time of worship. Thank you, Father God, because you are the I am that I am. And it's only through you, Father God, that all things are possible, Father God. Without you, nothing is even possible. You said in your word, Lord, that the world is held together by your words. So, Father God, with that being said, Lord Jesus, we want to appreciate you. We want to appreciate your word. We do not want to despise your word, but we want to glorify and appreciate and acknowledge your word. In the matchless and mighty name of Yeshua, Jesus Christ, we pray. Amen. 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 All right. First and foremost, guys, I hope you have your notepads, your iPads, your tablets, your styluses, your pens, papers, and everything you need in order to succeed. We're going to welcome our YouTube audience, and then straight after that, we're going to be jumping into today's session. Today's going to be extremely interesting. I've often said that chaos follows creation, and I can assure you that what is going to be instilled, imparted, maybe for some of us instructed in today's session, is going to be game changing. So if you're ready to change your game, get plugged in today. All right. So with that being said, first and foremost, welcome, guys. Those of you who are joining us on YouTube, feel free to let us know in the comments where you're joining us from in the world. Are you in the UK? Are you in the US of A? Are you in Australasia? Are you in Asia? And feel free to let us know where you're tuning in from. This is our family Bible and breakfast session. I believe this is session 54 or 55. We're tracking, guys. And we're going to be jumping in today. You can see the title of the video. So yeah, we're gonna be jumping straight in today. All right, guys. So I'm gonna start with a question, and we're gonna use that question to go further and further and further and further and further into today's session. Amalia, apologies. Can I get some board markers, please? I do apologize. I love that face as well. Oh, Sam was calling me. All right. Yeah. Hopefully we can get some board markers. So, guys, the question we're going to start with today is, what do you not consume? Okay, what do you not consume? And typically I usually write the question up here. We will be writing the question up in a moment. But what do you not consume? And you guys, sorry, please, if you're going to speak, don't speak right next to Uncle's here. Okay? All right? Suri. All right? What do you not consume? That is the question. What do you not consume? Okay? That is the question. All right? And those of you who are joining us on YouTube, on the internet, let us know in the comments as well. What do you not consume? All right, what do you not consume? So it's open. Let's go. I don't know what that face means yet, Christina.
Are we talking about like food consume or
Top drawer,
what we
right
watch
there.
and hear?
There should be a box. Black. The board markers first. Thank you, sis. Whatever you want. You said eat. You said like, yeah. You choose. None. No, it's the box is white and blue usually. Blue or white.
Rubbish or anything that's
Okay, that was good. All right. So Michelle says rubbish to start us off. All right. And the mic is on you guys, so as you speak, they should be able to hear you as well. All right. What do you not consume?
Poison.
Rubbish is the first answer. Poison.
Bottom feeders.
Bottom feeders. Okay. That's fine. Thank you, Princess. Appreciate
things
it.
that go against my values.
Against your what?
My values.
Okay,
So
so
like TV shows, if it's like, if there's gay and lesbianism, it's not even, is it? But then I won't watch the show. I'll just put it off.
Things that don't edify yourself.
what was the first thing you said, Michelle? You said rubbish. That was it. Thank you. And Emmanuel said poison. This is good. Bobby said bottom feeders. That was
Bottom feeders.
Alright, let's go, guys. We'll take like 3 more answers. And those of you who are joining us on YouTube, I don't want to switch yet. Dwayne, thank you ever so much for the update, letting us know we were muted. The microphone I switched to was off because I hadn't connected it yet. All good, all good, all good. All right, so Dwayne Patrick says drugs. Okay, what do you not consume? And we'll take one more answer, guys. And if that comes from you guys who are online, let it come from us who are online. If it comes from the room, let it come from you guys in the room. And you guys online should be able to hear us now properly. Zechariah. Speak louder. Raw animals. Yeah? Thank you. The pen is done. It's a good thing we're doing something a bit different today. All right, raw animals. Yeah? Perfect. Beautiful answer. Okay, so guys, we asked this interesting question today. And the question is, what do you not consume? And we've got multiple different answers. Now, what I want you to do, if you're joining us on YouTube, I want you to continue throwing your answers in. Okay? All right. Thank you, Dwayne. Appreciate you. He says much better. Thanks. Thank you, sis. Appreciate you as well. All right. So I want you to continue throwing your answers in. If you're someone in the room, if you're someone who's taking notes like I would be, then you can keep writing answers down as they come to you. Okay. If you're someone who's obviously not, then you can't do that. But you can think about it. Okay. What do you not consume? Now, why is this important? This is important for multiple reasons. And I'm going to have to do something before I get into this the way I want to get into it. But we're going to do that anyway. All right. So in today's session, there's two different ways that we can, I don't even want to use this word because it's wrong, but there's two different ways that I can share with you today. Okay, how many ways can I share with you today? Two. Okay, cool. So would you like me to describe to you the two different ways? Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. So one of the ways I can share with you today is through what you call academic, and I'm putting more than one C to emphasize academic, all right? Academic wrong, yeah, all right? So one of the ways is through academic learning, okay? Now, the reason I can teach you with academic learning is because I'm a quote-unquote qualified teacher, okay? So the definition or the simple snapshot summary of academic learning is I use a whole bunch of long words which may most likely confuse and alienate most of you. But at the end of it, I feel like I'm smarter than you. And you feel like, well, I heard a whole bunch of smart things. Maybe I'm a bit smarter too. All right? So that's academic learning. All right? So does everyone understand what academic learning is? All right? Academic learning is the reason why in school, college, and university, if you write a word with one syllable, when you could have written a word with 3 syllables, you get marked down. Does this make sense? So the longer the word, the more intelligent they think you are in academia. Am I right? Am I right? Anyone got a degree? Anyone can say, yeah, it's true, Samuel. I had to meet the 30,000 word quota when I could have said it in 8,000 words. All right, okay. All right, Elijah's hands up, so someone's with me. All right, cool. So academic learning is one of the ways. Let's go further, right? The other way, okay, how many ways are there? Okay, the other way is with actual learning, okay? What's the other way? All right, so let me describe actual learning for you, okay? Actual learning is how babies learn how to speak, okay? Because when you see the baby, and I've got 6 of them, I've had 6 of them, so I know what I'm talking about. When you see the baby and you say to the baby, my name is Dada, you want the baby to do what? Repeat. You want the baby to repeat after you, okay? Is that correct? And what happens when the baby repeats after you and repeats after you and repeats after you? Surely, after a while, you don't have to say anything. And what does the baby do? They say Dada. They say Mama. They say, I want food. They say, change my nappy. They say, Mama, I want to go toilet. They say all of this stuff. They end up building up their whole category and catalogue of a repertoire of language just because they started off by repeating. Does that make sense? Okay, now I don't know if you've seen some other elements of actual learning, but I'm going to share with you a few other elements of actual learning. One of the other elements of actual learning is when I say you guys should probably fill in the... Okay, Zechariah got it clear and clean. That's filling in the blank, okay? Because this is what happens in real life. The problem is some people don't live a real life. But in real life, the way real life works is you have to figure out how to fill in the blank. Does that make sense? Okay, so I'll give you an example. If someone's bank account says 0, but but they have a bill that says 100, what do you think they need to do? Thank you, Daniel. They need to fill in the blank. They need to turn the 0 into at least 100. Is what I'm saying making sense? So do you understand the difference between academic learning and actual learning? You see, in actual learning, for you to actually learn, I'm going to say some stuff and I'm going to have to ask you to repeat after me. I'm going to have to ask you to... Okay. With actual learning, what's going to happen is I'm going to say some stuff and I'm going to expect you to fill in the... And that's how people actually learn. Does that make sense? Now, the problem is we have a whole school system set up with no actual learning happening. But there's lots of academic learning happening. So I don't know if you understood the definition, the breakdown, the summary I gave you of academic learning, but I said to you, I'll say a whole bunch of long words and I'll leave feeling smarter and I'll leave you thinking maybe because I heard all those long words, I'm smarter. Now imagine what the world looks like if the overwhelming majority of people have heard so many long words that they're now living thinking I'm smarter, but they're not actually smarter because they haven't actually learned anything. Does this make sense? All right. So here's my question to you. Okay. Here's my question to you. And those of you who are with us trending on YouTube, let us know, right? Let us know if this is of value to you. Here's my question to you. In today's session, would you like some academic learning or would you like some actual learning? Okay. I can't hear you guys clearly. And I know these guys on the internet definitely can't hear you. Thank you, Atara, because it sounds like she's on board. In today's session, because it's up to you guys, it's not up to me, it's up to you. I'm here to serve you. So my question to you again is, in today's session, would you prefer to have some academic learning? I've studied 4 degrees, I can definitely do that for you. Or would you prefer some actual learning? What would you prefer? Actual learning. Okay, actual learning. So in light of that, I'm going to start, hopefully, I don't know if this is going to work, right? But I'm going to start, hopefully, by doing a demonstration, okay? Because demonstration is another way that we have actual learning, okay? Right? Demonstration. Demonstration is another way that we actually have actual learning. Demonstration is another way that we actually have actual learning, okay? Guys, does any of this stuff actually resonate? Is anyone sitting there thinking, Samuel, wow, like, this is actually deep, like, I spent my whole life not realizing that the actual way to learn is by me filling in the blank, is by me actually repeating, is actually by me observing or going through demonstration. Because the reality is many of us have spent our years studying, going to places, going to seminars, becoming parts of communities, and we've never had to fill in the blank, we've never had to repeat, and we've never ever had to demonstrate. And then we ask ourselves at the end, how comes I don't get the results of the thing these people are talking about? How comes those top performers I'm not on that stage? How comes I started when she started, but she is part of that new group and I'm still in the same group that I was in the beginning? How comes? Why is my story this story and my story not glory? Okay? And I'm here to tell you this is the reason why. The reason why is because some people have learned how to parent through academic learning. Some people have learned how to be in their marriage through academic learning. Let me tell you the most powerful thing for me about academic learning. Academic learning does exactly what the Bible talks about in the New Testament. It gives you a form of godliness, but it denies the power. Now, obviously, let's take that out of godliness and let's put that in anything. So it gives you a form of parenting, but it denies the power. It gives you a form of you're married, but it denies the power. Is what I'm saying making sense? Imagine being in a marriage, thinking you're married, thinking you know what a marriage is all about because you're in a marriage, but you have no idea, no earthly idea of what a marriage actually is, what you're supposed to do. You're part to be successful inside of that relationship. Is what I'm saying making sense? Can you understand why failure can slap someone very quickly and they won't even know which direction it came from? Does that make sense? Okay? Because you've got parents who are complaining about why their children are going wayward, but they haven't realized that you only had academic learning around parenting. Does this make sense? You got people saying, you know what, I don't know, like they just quote unquote fell out of love. Things just simply changed. One night, everything became different, but they don't know why it became different. But it's because they had confidence that they knew what they were talking about because of academic learning, instead of having real awareness of what they're doing through means of actual learning. Okay? Is this helpful for someone? All right, cool. So with that being said, we're going to go deeper into the session. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a demonstration. I'm going to start with a demonstration. All right, this is good. Now, in order to do this demonstration effectively, I'm going to need some help. Okay? Can I have a volunteer, please? Anyone who's not afraid of fire and a candle. Okay? All right, Elijah, come. Yeah, just because he's a little bit taller than you, that's why. Okay? I'm not going to burn you. Come stand here. All right, now, Elijah's going to hold this for us. And you have to hold it firm. Don't squeeze it. I don't need to squeeze it. And just bear in mind, because it's a candle, like, wax might come down, right? So you're going to have to be aware. Hold that and then hold it on top. All right, so this is our demonstration. This is our demonstration. Okay, Zek is with me. Zek, I need you to be my traveling audience. I need to go with you everywhere, bro. I like this. All right. This is our chase. Let's go. All right, everyone ready for this, yeah? Yes, Dad. All right. So in this demonstration, I'm going to do something simple. I'm going to show you. Actually, I'll tell you what I'll show you after. I'm going to light the match and light the candle. It's all right, babe. It's all right, babe. Thanks. Like that note. Okay, so what have I just done? Okay, cool. Let me ask one more time. What have I just done? Let me just throw that in there. What have I done? All right, cool. And thank you, sis, for turning the light on, just so people can see, all right? Everyone saw what I've done, yeah? All right, cool. You're cool, right? All right, cool. So now, is this match lit? Yeah, no. No, okay. I'm going to light it. Now, what lit this match? Okay, the existing light. Is that correct? All right. We can do this one of two ways. Do you want to do it or should I do it? You want me to do it? All right. All I'm going to do is I'm going to blow this out. What happened? It's not enough. Did you guys saw what happened the first time? What happened? Isabel, you explain. Can everyone be quiet so you can hear her, please? What happened? Just what happened? What did you see happen?
I saw that you lit the candle, then you blew the match out, then you lit the match with the candle, and then after you blew the candle out and you put the match on top and it just lit.
Did I relight the candle for the candle to be lit the second time? No. Okay. Did anyone see me touch the candle the second time? No. All right. Should we do this again so everyone knows we're on the same page? Again? Yeah, bro. Don't be afraid, bro. I said someone who's not afraid of wax or candle, right? All right. It's all right. It's cool. You saw what happened, right? Did everyone see what happened? Yes, Dad. Should we do it again just so you're clear? No. This match is not lit, right? Well, did that hurt? No. So do you want to do it or should I do it? Elijah. All right, blow this out. Did everyone see that? Yes, blow it out again. All right, cool. Thank you. That's the end of our oh, go on, you blow it out. That's the end of our demonstration. That was our demonstration. Okay, now, scientifically, does anyone know what just happened? Yes. No. Go on, Sam. It's the oxygen that is igniting. What is? I don't think anyone knows what you're talking about. Okay. Sorry. Let me be fair and nice. Does anyone know what Sam was just talking about? Just explain it as if you're explaining it to Shiloh. Okay, so explain it as if. All right, cool. No, it's cool. She's trying, all right? All right, I'm going to give you the science, yeah? Are you ready for the science? That flame is a byproduct of 3 components. How many components? 3. Okay. The components are some form of a fuel. Does that make sense? Yeah. What was the fuel? Yeah, the wick of the candle. She's got it, right? The wick of the candle, the wax of the candle. I need you to sit up properly, please. Okay? The wick of the candle or the wax of the candle. Does that make sense? Right? A flame is also a byproduct of some form of gas. The gas that was there is oxygen. Okay? And the oxygen is being depleted, creating carbon dioxide. So Sam was on the right path, the first thing she said, right? So you have oxygen, you have fuel, and you have a third component. That third component is heat. Okay? So, like, do you guys want to know, like, behind the scenes, the science of what just happened? Yeah? All right, cool. When you blow out the candle, a source of energy that is incubating or inhabiting heat, when you blow it out, what goes? The heat goes. But the oxygen is still there, right? And the fuel is still there, right? So what happens is, if this is your candle, this becomes an oxygen trail. We look at that and we say it's smoke. Is that correct? What's the missing ingredient? Heat. Now, that smoke, that oxygen trail is carrying heat. It's carrying the dispersed heat. And in science, if you understand science, basic, heat always goes to the coldest particles. Heat disperses to its coldest particles. So what does that mean? That means if we introduce heat in the form of a flame, if we introduce heat in the form of a flame on a match here, it will literally be transported instantly to the coldest part, which is the wick. And when it's transported to the coldest part, which is the wick, the fuel's already there, the oxygen's already there, so what do we get again? Flame. Mathematically, we get the flame back. Okay? Now, was that interesting demonstration? Yes. Okay, I did tell you last month I might do a demonstration, so that was the demonstration. Now, can I get a board rubber, please? Amalia, thank you. All right, now, Zechariah, I need you to do better, please. I need you to do way better, please. So, what we're basically explaining here is something I'm going to be showing you in multiple dimensions throughout today's session. Okay? And this is why I wanted to start with a demonstration, so you can see what I'm talking about. Because if you can see what I'm talking about, you can understand at a higher propensity what I'm talking about. It's going to be easier to understand what I'm talking about. Does this all make sense? All right, so here's my first question to you. How many components were necessary for us to have a flame? 3. Okay. So now what we're going to have to do to make this make sense is we're going to have to do some biblical numerology. We're going to have to use understanding of Bible numbers or numbers from the Bible. Okay. Now, if you study the Bible, what you will find when you study the Bible is every number has a meaning. Every number has significance. Every number means something, or every number, thank you, Princess, every number has a level of significance. All right. Now, some of you may have heard me teach this before, but it's all good. Let's go. The number 1, does anyone know what that number represents? God. Thank you. Who said unity first? All right, thank you. So 1 is the number for unity. It represents unity, okay? In the Bible, it says, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one God," right? So 1 represents unity. Is everyone happy with that? 1 represents? Unity. Okay, 1 represents? Unity. Okay, we'll try that one more time. 1 represents? Unity. Okay, listen, guys, here's a question. Do you want to actually learn, or do you want to have academic learning taking place? Okay, so you guys know what it takes to have actual learning. You guys know. I've already revealed that to you. So you have to determine. You have to determine if you're going to actually learn. I hope you understand this, right? I can't make you repeat. Does that make sense? I can't make you fill in a blank. Does that make sense? I can't make you engage with a demonstration. Does that make sense? This is why some people, like last month, do you remember the title of last month's session? Why Christians are broke? This is why some people are broke. What did I define broke as? Does anyone remember? Elijah. No, what we said is if someone's broke, they don't need to be rich. If someone's broke, they need to be fixed. That's what we said. But I defined being broke as bypassing rich opportunities knowingly every day. Bypassing rich opportunities knowingly every day. Let me tell you what a rich opportunity is. It's an opportunity to repeat something that is for your good and not repeating it. That's a rich opportunity that's being bypassed. And guess what's so powerful about that? It's a simple opportunity. Does that make sense? A demonstration, not engaging in a demonstration. Do you know what that is? That's bypassing a rich opportunity knowingly every single day. So I'm encouraging you to understand that the difference between academic learning and actual learning, and the reason why schools don't actually have actual learning taking place, is because if actual learning was taking place, actual learning has got nothing to do with the teacher. It's got more to do with the student. Does that make sense? That's why in the Bible, you don't see the teaching relationship the way we see teaching relationships in our world today. In the Bible, the teaching relationship is always on the student. You see the student pursuing the teacher. You see the student saying to the teacher, I'm not leaving. You see the student saying to the teacher, I'm following you. You see the student saying to the teacher, even if I lose my life, I'm going with you. Do you know why? Because actual learning doesn't take place based on the teacher. The teacher's doing what the teacher's doing. Does that make sense? Actual learning takes place in the mind, in the heart, in the hands of the student. Hopefully that helps. Now, let's go deeper. So 1 is the number for? Unity. Okay, someone's with me. Right, now, 2 is the number for separation. Okay? Now, again, you might be thinking, Samuel, you're just making this up, right? And the reason I'm saying that when I get to 2, I always stop when I get to number 2, because when I was going church as a young child, when I was dragged to church by my mum, I was taught that 2 is the number for unity. Okay? I was taught. Was anyone else taught that? Or was I just went to some weird church? All right. So my wife was taught that as well, right? So I used to go to these churches and they used to say 2 is the number for unity, right? But biblically, 2 is not the number for unity. There is no biblical trace for 2 being the number for unity. Samuel, can you give me some evidence? That's the energy I'm feeling right now. So let me give you some evidence. In Amos chapter 3, verse 3, it says, how can 2 walk together? Do you know what that means? That means 2 is obviously not the number for unity, because how can 2 walk together? 2 can't walk together. What does it say at the end of the verse? Unless they be agreed. Do you know what happens when 2 people become agreed? They become one, which is the number for? Unity. Oh, someone's catching it now. So 2 is not the number for unity. The first woman in the Bible who has 2 children, what's her name? Eve. Fill in the blank. Her name is Eve. And what happens with those 2 children? One kills the other. That doesn't smell or look like unity to me. The first woman who has twins. Okay, anyone know who's the first woman who has twins? Okay, and Rebecca has? Jacob and Esau. And when Jacob and Esau come out as twins, what does the Bible say about them? 2 coming out are warring against each other from day 1. Does this make sense to you? Let me tell you something, what happens when you understand biblical numerology appropriately. And this is what doesn't happen, which is why last month we had to talk about why Christians are broke. This is what doesn't happen when you've been lied to and you've believed the lie, you've received the lie, you end up achieving the lie. You end up manifesting the lie and thinking that 2 is the number for unity, and you start looking for 2s. Like, I don't know if anyone caught what I just said. Like, you start looking for separation because you think separation is unity. Does that make sense? Is what I'm saying making sense? Like, we live in a world where that's happening. We live in a world where people are looking for separation because they've been deceived into thinking it's unity. We live in a world where people are searching for separation because someone once told them that that's unity. Okay? This is so good. All right, let's go deeper. Oh, Reginald had it. Bypassing rich opportunities knowingly every day. He had it. All right, good. So should we go deeper? All right, if we should go deeper, someone say, deeper. Deeper. Okay, they're repeating. Let's go. So the first thing is unity. 1 is the number for unity. 2 is the number for? Separation. 2 is the number for? Separation. 2 is the number for? Separation. Are you sure? Yes. No, are you sure? Yes. Okay, because I'm sure. I've read the scriptures. I understand it. Now, let me tell you something that happens, right? You might not know this, but I'm going to give you a little secret. Something that happens when you actually understand biblical numerology, right? You start seeing things happen before they happen. So you see the number 2 show up, and guess what you know is going to happen soon? Separation. I've got a smart audience here right now. I want you to, guys, listen, when I read the Bible, I'm going to say this, because, well, actually I know this, because you guys all just told me that you didn't know this. When I read the Bible, I have a different experience to you. Because when I read the Bible, because of biblical numerology, I see things before they happen. And guess what happens when that starts happening in your life? Guess what happens? You see, I don't know if you remember last month where we spoke about why Christians are broke. One of the things I said, I took you through Proverbs 13. We read multiple verses. For those of you who don't remember or weren't here, just go watch the replay. But one of the things I was saying is I shared with you guys Proverbs 29:18. And in Proverbs 29:18, it says, my people are destroyed. It says, without a vision, the people perish. Or without a vision, the people cast off restraint. And I shared with you last month something very profound. I said to you, what is a vision? Does anyone remember me asking that question? Does anyone remember the answer? A vision is your ability to see ahead. And if you don't have an ability to see ahead, guess what's going to happen? You're going to perish. If you don't have just think about that for a minute. Like, if I don't have an ability to see ahead, I'm going to perish. So I need to have an ability to see ahead, to see beyond where I'm at right now. I need to have an ability. Oh, guys, I don't know if I should share this. I'll share it. Listen, do you know the further ahead you can see, the more rewarded you will be? Do you know that? Do you know that the further ahead you can see, the more well rewarded in your today you will be? Let me share something with you. This is why God gave you the cheat code and gave you a book in the back of the Bible called Revelation. Let me tell you something. There are very few books in the Bible. I can't even use the word few because few means the word few is a representation of a specific number. Few means free. Yeah, if you didn't know that, now you've learned something, right? Few stands for free. Few, F-E-W, that word represents free. Okay? Now, should we keep tracking, right? Am I helping someone today? Okay. I can't use the word few because it's not actually free from my knowledge. There's less than free. There are a couple of books in the Bible which the Bible actually says in the Bible, if you read those books, you'll be blessed. There's a couple. There's not 7, 8, 10 books. Now, look, this is not Samuel ICanWin saying to you guys, don't read the Bible. This is not me saying only read 1 or 2 books in the Bible. This is me helping you understand that the Bible, which I believe is the basic instructions before leaving earth, the Bible, which I think is the most essential resource that any single person should have in their life, the Bible, which I think is the best manuscript to frame and fashion your life over, inside of it tells you that there are a couple of books that you get blessed if you read. And one of those books is the book of Revelation. Why do you think one of those books is the book of Revelation? Let me even go deeper. Should I tell you the other book? Yes. Does anyone know what it is? Okay, the other book is the book of Daniel. Robbie got it right? The book of Daniel and the book of Revelation are the 2 books in the Bible that it tells you you're blessed if you read them. Now, what you don't realize, which is super powerful, is this. The book of Daniel is deeply steeped in prophecy about the future. And the book of Revelation is deeply steeped in information about the future. So what do you think is attached to being blessed? It's your ability to see ahead. Do you know what the word blessing means? In the Hebrew, the word blessing, the actual breakdown in English means to be empowered to prosper. Do you know how you can be empowered to prosper? I'm going to tell you how you can be empowered to prosper. And someone in YouTube, let us know, like, if you're getting value, let us know if you're getting value. This is how you get empowered to prosper. By knowing what's going to happen before it happens. That empowers you to prosper. Because I know what's going to happen. I know even though the devil's going to show me that it's bad, even though the devil's going to show me that I should be sad, even though the devil's going to show me there's no reason to be glad, I know what's going to happen. So I can be glad through the storm. This is why it says verses like in the book of Psalms, weeping may endure for the night, but joy comes in the morning. Why? Because if you have an ability to see ahead when the weeping is happening, it won't weep you away. This is why when Jesus came walking on the water and the apostle said, is it you? If it's you, bid me to come. The problem for the apostle is the apostle was stuck in the here and now and didn't attempt to activate the what's going to happen next. So in the reality, the here and now turned from the apostle saying, oh, if it's you, bid me come, to the apostle defying gravity and walking on water for a moment. Only for a moment. Why? Because of a lack of an ability to see ahead. Is this helping someone? All right, let's go deeper then. So 2 is the number for separation. And this excites me, as you can see, right? Because I've gone all the way off the notes just to talk about separation. Because I see people getting separated every day. And this is why it excites me. Okay, so some of you guys know in my business, all right, I do coaching. Some of you guys know in my business, I do property, right? So I see people get separated from their wealth. I see people get separated from their health. I see people getting separated from their relationships, all right? I see people who separate themselves from their relationships. Relationships they say they genuinely want to be a part of. I watch people separate themselves in their relationships. I watch people separate themselves in their wealth. I watch people separate themselves in their health. They say to you, they say to me that they want to be healthy. But then they go and do what they should not do. So what's going to be the outcome of that? Is what I'm saying making sense? Like, guys, listen, let me say this, right? Today's title, for those who want a title, is The Killer Called Consumption. That's today's title. The Killer Called Consumption. Now, here's something I want to share with you. If you can see someone who tells you they want to be healthy, but you can watch them eat at times they shouldn't eat and eat things they shouldn't eat, what does that tell you about other areas of that person's life? If you can see someone tell you that they want to be healthy, but you see them eat things they shouldn't eat and eat at times they shouldn't eat, what does that tell you about that person?
They don't take action.
They don't take action. Sorry, sis. They don't. Okay, they don't really mean it. Okay, they don't really mean it. Let's take that. Anything else, guys? Let's take 2 more answers. Those of you on YouTube, let us know.
They don't desire it as much as they say.
Okay, they don't desire it as much as they say. Okay. Okay, foolish. Let's take 1 more. There's no self-discipline, did you say? All right, cool. All right. I just want us to hear what we're talking about. Because okay, should I be very, very nice and share with you guys why what I just described happens for people? I don't know if that will be of value to you, right? Okay. The reason that happens for many people, because look, guys, we can say foolish, we can say lack self-discipline, we can say all of this stuff. We're all talking about ourselves. Am I the only person bold enough to say that? Okay, sorry, let me change the words to make it easy. You guys are all talking about me. No, that's me, bro. No, bro, I'll fight for that because that's me, bro. That's been me in the past, bro. Okay? And this is the problem. You see, there are people who can't even embrace the conversation we're having, Emmanuel, because they're not pioneers. They're not willing or ready to say, no, that's me. I messed up. I'm that person who tells people, you know what, I'm going to write a book. And then I don't write the book. And I've got all these excuses, which are useless, about why I don't write the book. That's me, bro. That's not you. That's me. It's why I'm saying clicking with anyone. All right? So now let me give you the 411, because it's one thing I said this last month. There's no point us labeling things. We're not here to label. We're here to disable the things that are negative so that we can enable the things that are positive. So let me explain why this happens. The reason this happens, for those of you who desire change, because I desire change, that's why I'm going to tell you the truth. The reason this happens is because there is a difference between academic learning and actual learning. That's what happens. It happens because your beliefs are built in the area you're saying you're going to change around academic learning. So because they're built around academic learning, you think you know enough to say, I'm going to, I want to, I will one day, but you don't actually know enough, which is why what actually happens is the complete contradiction to what you said. Does that make sense? This is why I had to start today by showing you the difference between academic learning and actual learning. Because if you don't know the difference between academic learning and actual learning, you won't realize why people talk with so much confidence about things they have no clue about. That would have been a bit sharp. All right, let's go. Dwayne says they're not disciplined. Dwayne says something very powerful here. And I think this is needed. So this is why I'm going to share this, right? Dwayne says, I think they do desire it, but it's actually just a lack of discipline, which is similar to what was said a moment ago, right? So I want you guys to think about this, okay? Because I'm not saying the person doesn't desire it. I'm just saying the person's been miseducated. They're miseducated. They're academically educated in the field they're talking about, which is why they have the confidence to talk, because they think that's how things get done. But it's not how things actually get done, okay? Is this helpful? All right, let's keep it moving. All right, let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. Now, what should we jump into? Let's jump into this, because I think this will be helpful for you guys. So I said 1 is the number 4. Okay, someone's not with us. I said 1 is the number 4. Okay, and I said 2 is the number 4. All right, so do you know what 3 is the number for? Okay, 3 is the number for divinity. Okay, now, for those of you who said, Samuel, I don't want academic learning, I just want actual learning, divinity might be a long word, all right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it down to a simpler word, all right? So divinity just means, for those of you who are ready, divinity just means God-likeness. Okay? Divinity just means? All right, that's all it means. It means God-likeness. Now, I said to you earlier, guys, when you understand biblical numerology, what happens is you see a number and you can see something is going to happen. I said that, right? Okay. Judy, stop. I said you can see a number and you know something's going to happen. So here's a question, right? How many components were involved scientifically for us to go and do our demonstration earlier? Thank you, son. I heard you. All right? God-likeness. What is God-likeness? God-likeness is the Father who said he resides in heaven, the Holy Spirit who said he wants to be in fellowship consistently with you, and the Son, Yeshua, the one who came to be a bridge between us, humanity, and God himself, Jesus the Christ who died on the cross. That's God-likeness. That's God-likeness. I'm going to say this. That's not man-likeness. Okay? I just need to articulate that because some of us, due to academic learning, are trying to use man-likeness to achieve God-likeness. But we don't understand. If God says to you, my daughter, XYZ, or my son, ABC, I hope you understand you need God-likeness to achieve God-based results. Like, is that logic? Or am I making this up? Like, okay, let me ask the question. I'll ask you. Do you think you are going to achieve God-likeness with man-likeness skill sets? No. Do you think... Okay, let me give you an example, right? God says to Moses, he says, take my people out of this place, Egypt, okay? Moses starts taking the people out of Egypt. And what happens? No, I said he starts taking them out. So we're past the doubling of the workload. Okay, yeah, they do start complaining. That's man-likeness, but we're not even talking about that. But that's more of the man-likeness. So that's helpful, right? See, thank you, Elijah. That's super helpful. Like, look at life. You get what you want and you start complaining. Like this. Thank you, Elijah. That was super helpful. That's man-likeness. Man-likeness is you pray and pray and pray for that spouse and then you start complaining. That's man-likeness. Okay? You pray and pray and pray to have children and then you start complaining. That's man-likeness. You pray and pray and pray to get that degree. You get the degree and then start complaining. You pray and pray and pray to have fellowship. You find the community and then start complaining. That's man-likeness. Okay? Now, let's talk about God-likeness. Same story. God says to Moses, get my people out of Egypt. They start leaving Egypt and what happens? What happens is they meet a sea. That's what happens. They meet a sea. Now, with man-likeness, someone tell me your options. Bro, you're the rower, bro. Come on. Get a boat, go through, or go back. Okay? We're either going to swim through the sea, which we ain't swimming through no sea, or we're going to get a boat for you and me. They had man-likeness options. And guess what? None of them were the options that ended up being used. Why? Because they were on a God-like mission. You see, this is the problem for some of us. We've been given a God-like mission, but we're trying to use man-like skills to achieve it. Why? Of course you're going to be complaining. Does this make sense? Of course it's going to feel too hard. Of course you're going to be like, no, I can't do this. Of course you're going to be like, bro, I'm going back. Of course you're going to be like, I don't have a boat. Like this, look, I don't know if you're connecting the dots. This is why people face things and they say they can't afford it. That's the I don't have a boat. This is why people face things and say I'm going back. There's a sea in front of me. That's what's happening. You know what Jesus said? I'll give you Jesus' advice. Jesus said, you're not worthy, bro. You're not worthy. That's what Jesus said. Jesus said, no man, like, is there anyone here who's excluded from the no man? Okay, thank you, Robbie. No. Okay, the answer is no. No man means all of us here are included. He says, no man who is going to look back is worthy to put his hand on the plow and say, I'm ready for this kingdom thing. Apologies if that's a bit hard, but that's reality. That's actual learning. That's looking at the demonstration of Jesus Christ and recognizing, wow, like if I'm not serious and I'm just curious, I need to jump off the boat now, because he's not going to places where if I am going to be looking back, it's going to work for me. Let me ask this question. Okay? Let's go. I see you, Dwayne. Let's go. All right? Let me ask this question. If you realized today, if you realized when? Today. Okay, I'll ask again. If you realized today, if you realized when? Today. That what you have been doing for the last 30 years in your career was the wrong thing, would you change today? If you would, just say, I would. All right? Now, that was really, really good. Okay? Because those who said I would didn't say it very loud. And the overwhelming majority of people didn't say I would. How can I be the nicest brother to you right now? That's a picture of your future. Okay, what I mean is, all the access to everything you want is just on the other side of a decision most of us are not willing to make. Make more sense? You see, Jesus said this to us, and some of us still don't get it. He said it's the tradition of men that make the word of God to be of no effect. Think about that. If you've been doing something for 30 years, do you know what that has become? A tradition. Oh, but I'm qualified for this, bro. Oh, but I've been in this industry for 10 years, bro. I've been hustling in this industry, bro. Like, bro, you can have all your reasons. It doesn't matter. The reality is, if you are not willing on today to make a decision when you realize everything I've been doing is wrong, to change, like, bro, you're not worthy, bro. That's a picture of your future. Your future is you are not going to get what you're supposed to get. You can't, because if I'm correct that some of us have a godlike vision and a godlike mission, but we're thinking in, like, that's man-like thinking. I'm not willing to change. That's man-like. I'm not. First verse of the Bible. Anyone? Can you paraphrase it? In the beginning. No, that's not the first verse. Thank you, Elijah. The first verse is, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. What does that show you about God? He's willing to change. He's willing to change. He's willing to go and do something that wasn't there before, because God is the ultimate pioneer. He's willing to change. And you're not willing to change. And you're complaining because your bank account is living with change. He's willing to, guys, I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. He's willing to change. He's willing to say, I'm me. I'm God. I've got everything. I'm cool. I don't need anything. But you know what? Let's have a heaven and an earth. He's willing to change. He's willing to say to Adam and Eve, listen, I'm going to set you up with everything you need in order to succeed. You don't even need a notepad, an iPad, a tablet, and a stylus, and a pen and a paper. Just go and enjoy all of the fruit of the garden that you didn't even work for. That was his ultimate, original plan for you and I. Just go and enjoy every single thing that I've put out here that you didn't even work for. That's God's plan. You see, when Moses and the children of Israel are standing at the sea and the sea opens up, that's God's plan. Go and enjoy stuff you couldn't make happen for yourself. Go and win on levels you can't even fathom that could happen for you. Go and be someone that you can't even conceive yourself being. Go win. That's God's plan for you. But if you have stinking thinking and you can't even say, I will stop being a slave today because he wants us to leave Egypt, then guess what? You aren't going to walk through the sea. You aren't going to. You're going to be left. And here's the thing, just like academic learning and actual learning, you're not left because of the teacher, you're left because of you. I hope this is helping somebody. Because people in 2025 like blaming someone else. They like using someone else's name. But if you would, then I could. And if you did, then I would have. But the reality is, it's got nothing to do with anyone else. God created a system where you can succeed all by yourself. Do you know why? Because you're succeeding with him. You're already partnered up. You're partnered up with something that your spouse can't. Oh my gosh. Should I help someone here? In the book of Acts, we see this interesting story of Ananias and Sapphira. And most people ask a question when they read that story. Why did the apostles still ask the wife at the end, what did you do with the money? Because that story shows you that regardless of the fact that you are married and regardless of the fact that the two must become one in order for them to have unity, it shows you that God is going to judge you individually. And she ain't going to be able to say, oh, but my husband. Your husband's dead. And you still lied. So is your husband to blame? I don't know, guys. You tell me. That story was in the Bible when I woke up this morning. This is what people are dealing with. People are living lives where they're just looking for someone else to blame. They want to put someone else's name in their mouth. Instead of realizing, it's me. I'm the flop. And until I fix myself, nothing is going to change for me. Nothing is going to change for me. I can lie to myself that, oh no, it's because I didn't get this from my mum and my dad. I can lie to myself and say, guys, let me tell you what it's for. It's because you have decided to believe in the academic learning instead of truly embrace the actual learning. That's the reason why. That's the reason why. We're so far from the notes. All right, let's go. We'll go one more. So 1 is the number of? Okay. I'm losing some, but it's okay. Jesus, it said he preached to a multitude. Some mocked, some scoffed, some laughed. But the key is some believed. 2 is the number 4? Separation. Okay, and 3 is the number 4? Divinity. Okay, so let me talk to you about 4. Dwayne Patrick's already put it in the chat. 4 is the number for workable systems on earth. Okay? 4 is the number that represents workable systems on the earth. Samuel, how do you know this? Are you making this stuff up? No, I'm not. I'm telling you what the Bible teaches, right? So, let's go through this. How many seasons do we have? 4. Okay, and those seasons, where do they operate? On the earth. On the earth. Where do they operate? On the earth, right? So, here's something that's interesting, right? God introduces the seasons in Genesis. He's creating the world. And he says, seed time and harvest will remain as long as the earth remains. Did anyone clock that he said that? Yeah? So what does that mean? That means seed time and harvest, #seasons, seasonality. I don't know if anyone's clocking. Like, what's the core component of seasonality? Who said change? Yeah, Christina, you're right. Change. Sister Christina, what did you say? Yeah, not the number 4. Yeah, but what's the core component of seasonality?
Consistency.
Well, you guys are close, but you're not there. It's time.
Yeah, very good time.
It's time.
3 months.
It's time. That is what I'm saying, because it's time. The only reason you can have seasons is because the time expires for that old season. So the time is now for the new season. Does this make sense? Yeah. And does God live in time? Oh my gosh, someone's catching this. This is why God says, as long as earth remains, seed time and harvest will remain, because seasonality is confined to time. Like, what you don't realize is you live in a realm where you can plant a seed and get everything you need now. But you can't do that when you come out of time. Because when you come out of time, you're not going to have any seasonality. Because you're in eternity. You see, God has given you your best shot at your best life right now. And some of us don't understand that. Some of us are waiting. We're waiting for someone else to rescue us. Or we're waiting for something to come out of the sky to start being a serious person who puts something down now so we can get something out tomorrow. Some of us don't want to invest in ourselves. And we think that life's going to get better. God has told you how to make life better. He said, as long as the earth remains, seed time and harvest shall remain. If you have no earthly clue about seasons, guess what? You're going to have no earthly clue about seed time and harvest. Why? Because if you plant in the wrong season, you cannot harvest, no matter the reason. Does this make sense? Yeah. So 4 represents workable systems on earth. Samuel, what do you mean? We have 4 seasons. Yes? What are they? Winter, spring, summer, autumn. If you're in America, winter, spring, summer, fall. Right? Okay. On a compass, how many core directions do we have? 4 core directions on a compass. You have north, you have east, you have south, you have west. Is what I'm saying making sense? Okay? 4 is the number for workable systems on the earth. You will see the pattern. When you are looking for things that work on the earth, that there's usually 4 components. Okay? There's usually how many components? 4. All right, so let's get into this. Is someone ready to get into this? Okay, if you are, just say, I am. Okay, just speak for yourself. Don't speak for anyone else because you might think some people are. But all right, so let's get rid of this. All right, I'm going to help you with something. Does anyone remember today's title? You're killing them, bro. You're killing them, bro. You're taking too much on their brain. Go on, the killer called consumption. Let's go. All right, the killer called consumption. Are we ready? Are we ready? All right. Thank you, Nana. I'm with you. All right. Consumption. Let's start talking about the killer called consumption because there are 3 things that are killing you. And I think the most important one is the one I'm talking about today. But the most interesting one to me is the one I'll talk about in our next session. But there's 3. I'll try and cover all 3. It will depend. It depends on time, right? But the first one is called consumption, which is why I started today's session by asking you guys, what is it that you will not consume? And some of us don't know what we will not consume. Some of us don't know. Like, is that fair to say? Okay, not just this room, but when I say some of us, I mean some of humanity, right? Are there human beings who don't have a I don't eat that list? Do you think? Okay, next question. Are there human beings who don't have a I don't read that list? Yeah, I'd assume so, right? Are there human beings who have a I don't watch that list? Yeah, so are you understanding what I'm saying? What I'm saying to you is we live in a world where there are people who don't have a non-consumption list. Now, here's something that's interesting. The God I serve shows up in the Bible and says stuff like, you shouldn't eat this. He shows up in the Bible and says stuff like, thou shalt not commit adultery. He shows up in the Bible and says stuff like, don't do that. Like one of my coaches often says, he says, God likes to don't the don'ts before he does the do's a lot of the time. A lot of the time when you study the Bible, you see God is telling you what not to do before he's actually telling you what to do. If you go look at the 10 Commandments, you'll see that is modeled there. You should not serve another God. You should not worship idols. It goes down a whole bunch of don'ts. Does this make sense? And this is the reason the devil is such a tricky individual, right? This is the reason why so many people think, being a Christian is no fun. Because God spends time investing in helping you understand you should have a don't list. And most people don't want to have a don't list. They just want to have a do list. But they don't understand you can't have a do list if you don't have a don't list. Oh, someone don't understand me. Last month I spoke about the law of gravity. If you don't have a don't list, I don't jump off buildings. Are you going to have a do list? No, because you're going to jump off a building. And game over. And the same way that happens with gravity, that happens financially, that happens spiritually, that happens relationally, that happens in health-wise. If you don't have a don't list, you're not going to get to have a do list. The reason God's trying to help you by giving you a don't list is because he wants you to have a fruitful do list. Let me be even deeper with you. By articulating clearly your don't list, guess what happens? You get clearer on your do list. Oh, I don't want to do this. Let's talk about the killer called consumption. There are specific categories of consumption that all human beings have. Okay? Does anybody know any of them? The categories of consumption as human beings that we can have. Okay?
Food,
No, it's okay. That's not it. All right, so I'm going to break it down a bit more, and it will help you. Okay, so maybe I'm not being clear, right? But thank you for that, right? No, I know you consume food. We all consume food. We're here. We're in Bible and Breakfast, guys. We are food consumers for sure. All right, so let me go into them. I'm talking about the groupings. So you're right, food, but groupings, right? So the first one, is everyone ready for the first one? Which one is this? The first one. The first one is to be a carnivore. Okay? Okay? Oh, they all came alive now. Guys, let me tell you guys on YouTube, right? You see here in the house, they think I ask trick questions. I don't ever ask trick questions, right?
Marty asked me the exact thing and the exact question.
Yeah.
I answered it wrong.
Perfect.
He said, carnivore herbivores. I said, oh, I didn't know what you were talking
All right. Cool. All right. It's my fault. I wasn't clear enough. All right. So there are four. I hope you're listening to this. There are four core different consumption groups. Okay. There are four. How many different? All right. Four. Right. Four. Why four? Workable systems on the earth. Okay. Now one of the groups is actually an other group. So that group opens up a whole bunch of others. And they open another four. And I should have actually done what I wanted to do, but I didn't get to. But I'm going to break this down. All right, so you have carnivores, you have herbivores, and the third one is omnivores. Okay? Everyone with me so far? Okay, and then you have group 4, which is othervores. Okay? And if you want, I can go into the othervores as well. All right? I should. All right, cool. The Marty wants people to learn today. Let's go. So, can anyone tell me what a carnivore is? A carnivore is someone that... All right, cool. So, carnivores eat meat. Yeah? Is that correct? Yeah? All right. Herbivores eat... Okay. Plants and herbs. Thus, herbivore. Make sense? Okay, here's a trick question. What do omnivores eat? Ah, you guys are smart. Smart. Now, can I correct you? Yeah? If you make a mistake, can I correct you? All right, so typically, carnivores don't eat meat. I know some of you are like, Samuel, what? You are just messing with my science right now. Typically, yeah, I know it's not what you're taught in school. That's the problem, because academic learning. Typically, and you don't need my definition, but you need a good definition so you can actually operate in life, right? Typically, carnivores eat other animals. Let's go, okay? Because I think if you think of it as other animals rather than meat, it's going to be more helpful for you. Okay? Because think about it. Yes, that is a cup, right? And humans don't necessarily or aren't supposed to eat other humans. Is that correct? All right? But humans will eat chicken, which is other animals. Yeah, or an animal, should I say, right? All right. So, are we good so far? Are we good so far? Okay, let me ask one more time. Are we good so far? All right. All right. Now, you guys asked for the othervores. You want the othervores, right? All right, let's go into the othervores. I've written some of them down, right? And you guys are smart, so you guys are going to figure this out yourself, right? So we have insectivores. Ladies and gentlemen, what do insectivores eat? Insects. You guys are so smart. You guys are so smart, okay? Then we have my favorite one. We have frugivores. What do frugivores eat, guys? Oh, you guys are so smart. Let's go. They eat fruits, right? Okay. Then we have, this is a crazy group, all right? We have detrivores. Does anyone know what detrivores eat? Yeah, I think you're right. But... All right. So let me tell you some good guesses. Let me give you the answer. Detrivores eat dead things. Okay? So they eat death. They eat things that are dead. Okay? Or there's another word. It's good to check your notes. Dead or decayed. That's what detrivores eat, right? And we've got one more, and we've got piscivores. Anyone know what piscivores eat? Let's go. You guys are so smart. All right? Now, what's interesting is I didn't get the opportunity today to go into the biblical numerology all the way to where I wanted to. I wanted to get to number 7, right? We didn't have the time. But do you guys know what the number 7 represents? Completion, all right? It's completion because it was 7 days that God completed his work, right? So 7 is completion. Now, here's something that's interesting. There are carnivores, herbivores, omnivores, othervores. There are 4 workable systems upon the earth. Okay? But when you go into the othervores, you end up seeing there's carnivores, herbivores, omnivores, insectivores, frugivores, and detrivores, right? Detrivores, thank you. So there's 7. Sorry, and piscivores make 7, sorry. So that makes 7, okay? So when you actually count it, you're talking about the main groups, you're talking about what God made, it's divine. You're talking about all the groups, you're talking about God's complete work, right? Now, there's so much I want to break down, so let's go. So today, someone remind me, what's the title for today? There we go. We got a good group here. The killer called consumption, okay? The killer called consumption. And you guys, like, can I rub this off? Like, are you going to remember this stuff? Yeah? Okay, cool. Sam's got it, even if you guys ain't. That's cool, all right? All right, now, I'm going to leave some of it because of space, but I want to make sure I give you everything I've got for you, right? So, let's write these back. What were the 3 groups again? The 3 main groups? And then other force. Okay, which we've got here anyway. All right, good stuff. So we had herbivores, we've got carnivores, we've got omnivores. We've got herbivores, we've got carnivores, we've got omnivores. Herbivores eat plants and herbs. Plants and herbs. Omnivores eat both. Yes, both. Carnivores eat other animals. All right. Is everyone good with this so far? All right. Are we doing too much science today? All right, good. So I'm going to share something with you that's not part of the notes, but this is why we can't finish this today. Is it fair for me to share why I can't finish all of this today? All right. There are 3 things that are killers. The first one is consumption. The second one is climate. The third one is condition. These are the 3 killers in our world, in our stratosphere. Okay? And I don't have time to finish all of them today, so we're only going to look at consumption. Okay? Is that helpful? Is that helpful? Is that helpful? Okay, cool. All right, so let's get into this now. I don't want to rub this out, and I keep rubbing it out, so maybe it just needs to go, so we've got space. All right, now some of you are going to be saying today, Samuel, bro, we haven't even read any Bible, okay? I've paraphrased multiple scriptures so far, all right? Should we get into the scriptures so you can see what we're talking about as well, yeah? Let's go to John chapter 5. I want you guys to have a full picture of what we're talking about, all right? John chapter 5. We're going to John chapter 5, my beautiful people on YouTube, all right? Let's go. All right, John chapter 5. We're going to read from verse 1. Can I have any volunteers for reading, please? All right, Alex, let's go. And anyone else? No, you can listen or whatever. We're going to start from verse 1. Oh, yeah, okay, you read. Okay, so we'll do Alex. We'll do Alex, Emmanuel, and myself. Let's do that. What we'll do, I don't know how many verses it is, but let's just do 4 verses each. So that will make 12. I think by 12 we'll be done. No, okay. Yeah. We stop at 12. That's cool. All right, so we're going to do 4 verses each. We're in John chapter 5. We're starting from verse 1. We're going to verse 12. And, I guess Alex can go first. She asked, so we go first.
After this, there was a feast of the Jews, and Jesus went up to Jerusalem. Now there is at Jerusalem by the sheep market a court, which is called in the Hebrew tongue Bethesda, having 5 porches. In these lay a great multitude of impotent folk, of blind, halt, withered, waiting for the moving of the water. For an angel went down to a certain season into the pool and troubled the water. Whosoever then first after the troubling of the water stepped in was made whole of whatever disease he had.
Okay, so look, firstly, right? There's no quote unquote God here, if you understand what I'm talking about. Like we ain't seen Jesus show up yet. We ain't seen a priest. Like we ain't seen nothing. But what we've seen is there's a place, a lot of people that are sick. Okay. Sorry, I started laughing because I was thinking that sounds like some people's workplaces. That sounds like that just sounds like the world. Like there's a place, a lot of people are sick. Yeah, it sounds like the world we live in, right? Okay, but then it goes on and says, but there's something that happens seasonally where people's situations can change. Does that make sense? Like, should I give you an example of what that might be like? That's like the lottery. Like I did a TikTok live recently and I said something which blew me away. So let me share it with you because it blew me away. I said, what's interesting is some people are going to spend their whole life desiring to get rich through the lottery. Now, here's the thing. Can you get rich through the lottery? Yes, okay? But I study statistics. My first degree is computing and statistics. The first master's I studied was a master's in statistics. And guess what you learn in statistics? One of the things, if you've got a really interesting statistics teacher, one of the things they'll get you to do is they'll get you to calculate the statistical probability of winning the lottery. And the last time I did it was 2005, 2006 when I was in uni. But the statistical probability then of winning the lottery is 1 in 13 million. Okay, that's the statistical probability, right? Now, that's just a number to me. That doesn't mean anything. Like that doesn't make me feel like, oh, that's good or it's just a number, right? But here's the funniest thing. If you find someone who knows how to make £1 million and that person's willing to teach you how to make £1 million and that person can charge you for you to learn how to make £1 million, do you understand that the statistical probability for you is no longer 1 in 13 million? Like, okay, let me just ask this. Is the probability better or worse? Better. Now, let me tell you why that's interesting. Most people would rather spend their whole life waiting to win the lottery with a statistical probability of 1 in 13 million than find someone who can show them how to win a financial lottery in their life and just pay them to learn. Think about that. Think about that. This is why people like living their life on payment plans. Because that's what you do when you play the lottery. Oh, I'll put £1 in today. Yeah. I'll pay you £1 next week on another lottery. That's right. This is like, guys, I don't know if you understand. I'm telling you what's happening in life. And you might not have seen it. You might have just been thinking, no, this is just life. No, this is not life. This is people waiting to win the lottery with a statistical probability which is not in their favor. When there's other options. There's what? Other options. Oh, someone heard that. Let's go deeper. We're in John chapter 5. Thank you, Alex. That was powerful. Emmanuel, you go. 5 to 8, please.
A certain man was there which had an infirmity 38 years. When Jesus saw him lie and knew that he had been now a long time in that case, he said unto him, Wilt thou be made whole?
Okay, so look, let's just go back quickly, right? Alex read it in verse 3, I think. No, verse 4. These guys are all sick. What content do you think they're consuming? Sorry, is that a good question? Is that a good question? Okay. What content do you think they're consuming? So for example, when I came in today, right, Joseph asked me a question. He said, Samuel, do you watch television? And I'm like, no, right? That's a form of consumption, right? So my question to you is, the Bible just described in all the verses Alex read, verse 1 to verse 4, what these people are doing, where these people are. I'm asking you, what content do you think they're consuming? Do you think let me ask you, you think they're consuming content about empowerment? You think they're consuming content about how to walk? Do you think they're receiving empowerment content about how to see? Okay, Tyrone said, pity. They're probably consuming content which is just talking about pity. Yeah, thank you. I think that's a great word. Of course they're consuming disabling content because they're remaining disabled. Does this make sense? Why are you smiling so hard, Alex?
No, it makes sense.
All right, cool. It makes sense. All right? So, should we go deeper?
Yes.
Let me say this before we start reading. Please see this. This is going to change someone's life. It might be one of the children. It says this thing, which is the opportunity, only happens every season. And I spoke to you guys about seasons a moment ago, right? So let me ask this question. If all of the people there in this pool in Bethesda died today, in terms of the story, would any of them have received what they were there for? No. Think about that. Tomorrow is not promised. But if all of the people there died today, they would not have received the thing they had been there for. Now, why is that interesting to you, Samuel? The reason it's interesting to me is because Emmanuel just read that there's a brother who's been there for 38 years. And this is why I asked you guys a question earlier. I said, if you figured out today that what you've been doing for the last 30 years was wrong, would you change? Would you change? Would you change? And a few people were like, yeah. Most people didn't say anything. They were like, I got to think about the question a little bit more and act like I don't know what he really asked me. But here's the reality. Let me tell you why I asked you that. Because Jesus didn't show up to this guy and say, bro, be healed. Jesus says, do you want to be healed? And you're going to be asked that in your finances. And you're going to be asked that in your marriage. And you're going to be asked that in your parenting. And you're going to be asked that in your health. You are going to be asked, do you want it? You're going to be asked that. Now, the words might not be, do you want it? Those might not be the words, but you're going to be asked, just like Jesus asked, do you want this? Are you about this? Are you ready to go? You're going to be asked that in your finances. And you have to answer the question. Let me tell you the question you have to answer. Am I going to give up what I've been doing for the last 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, 80 years, 8 years, whatever your number is, to show that I want this? You're going to have to answer that question. I can't answer that question for you. I've got a coaching client, right, who's been reaching out to me lately. She said something so powerful to me the other day. She said, Samuel, you've got to tell me if I should buy this property. And I said to her, that's not my job. I said, it's never been my job. My job is not to tell you, yes, buy it, or no, buy it. My job is to make your decision you're about to make so clear that by the time you make that decision, you know exactly what's going to happen. You've got to make the decision. Because here's the funny thing. If I decide for you, then whose decision is it? See, this is the problem. This is why some of us are struggling. Because we're waiting for someone else to make our decision for us. But we don't understand that the people who understand decisions can't make your decision for you. Because if they make the decision for you, you haven't made the decision for yourself. You want the guy to tell you, bro, you need to be on the course. You want the guy to tell you, bro, you need to invest. You want the guy to tell you, bro, you need to read this book. You want someone to tell you everything instead of you figuring out, this is my decision. And let me tell you something. Making a decision and then breaking a decision is not making a decision. How can that be making a decision? You just broke the decision. So if you make a decision and you break a decision, what do you think you have to do? You have to make a decision. You have to really make a decision. You have to recognize from your broken decision that you didn't really make a decision, and then you have to really make a decision. Yesterday, something very interesting happened. So I was on this call with Dr. Golden, and in the call, a whole bunch of people are asking questions, and Dr. Golden starts talking about something. He starts talking about someone who, I don't want to use the term let him down, but he started talking about someone who showed a lack of integrity. Okay? And he said, look, he said on the call this, he said, you know what, I told the guy, keep the $40,000. It's cool. Just keep the $40,000. Just know that anytime you tell me something, I'll explain what happened. So basically, he paid someone for a course, okay? And the course was $40,000. When he paid the person for the course said, the guy said to him, oh, this is amazing. Like, I'm going to buy your program. I'm going to buy your VIP day. And he was like, cool. Then he said, the day came for the guy to have the phone call about the VIP day. And he said the guy went into the witness protection plan. Sorry, guys. Oh, my coach makes me laugh. He said the guy went into the witness protection plan. That means he was a ghost. He was missing. He wasn't on the call. So then he said, then later on, the guy was talking to him, like they had a conversation, and he said, the guy said to him, oh, bro, you know what? I'm going to join your King Solomon's court. I'm going to join like part of your inner circle. And he was like, cool, man. Cool. So he said, then the day came for him to have the conversation about joining the inner circle. And he said, again, the guy decided to find himself back in the witness protection plan. He weren't on the call. So he said, then the day was coming for Dr. Golden to have his coaching call with the guy, because he paid for a coaching program, right? And he said, look, I just want to let you know, Dr. Golden said to the guy, bro, listen, I just want to let you know. He said, I'm not going to do anything you say. And he said, the reason I'm not going to do anything you say, he said, is because you have no value in your words. You don't have value in your words. You say stuff that don't mean anything to you. So you, like, I'm putting it in my language just to make it easy for you guys. You lack integrity. So because you lack integrity, I can't follow you. You can keep the $40,000, bro. Like, it's not about the money. It's about the fact that you think I can work with you when you can't even obviously work with yourself. Because they're your words, bro. And as Dr. Golden said, so I'll just share it with you so you guys have the full picture. He said, I didn't ask the guy any of the times to join my programs. I didn't ask him to tell me, oh, I'm joining your VIP day. I didn't ask him to tell me, oh, I wasn't selling him anything. He was just telling me. He was, as Dr. Golden said, volunteering the information. Is everyone with me so far? Yeah. Now, why is this important? Why is this relevant to what we're talking about? Let me tell you why. So we're on this call yesterday, and this is the context. You got the context? So I get asked to ask a question. So I'm like, Dr. Golden, you know what? Let's go deep. I just said to everyone, let's go deep. I said, you see that guy you spoke about earlier who said he was going to pay you, blah, 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 join your program, and the guy you dropped 40 racks and you said, you know what, just keep the racks. I said, what's that guy going to have to do now to fix his trust with you? What's that guy going to have to do? I said, because you know in Proverbs chapter 6, it says, if someone has an issue, like financially, you got to go, you got to make sure you got friendship, you got to fix the thing. So I said to him, I'm interested. I think people in this call would like to know. Like, I'm going to tell you why I asked the question. I asked the question because of what I was going to teach today, because I understood today I was going to talk to you guys about seasonality. I understood I was going to talk to you guys about the fact that you don't have the time you think you have. So I thought, let me ask that question to Dr. Golden so he can help the people in the room understand that, yo, bro, like, there are things you do, like the Bible says, there are some sins where, bro, like, there's no forgiveness, bro. You done. Like, you signed the contract to be out of the place. And I wanted him to express that. And he expressed it eloquently. He said, listen, similar to what I was saying about decisions, he's like, look, for that guy to fix the relationship, he is going to have to go above and beyond probably every single thing he ever thought he'd have to do to be able to restore trust. And he said something very powerful, which I'll share with you. He said, what most people don't realize is trust is actually very simple to earn. Sorry, it's very easy to lose and very difficult to earn. I want you to think about that. Trust is very simple to lose, but very difficult to earn. Now, why is Samuel bringing this up? Let me tell you why I'm bringing it up. Because everything Dr. Golden said about that situation is the same about your situations. Your finances, you may not realize it, okay? It's hard enough to win. So if you have an opportunity to win, don't lose your opportunity to win. Because if you lose your opportunity to win, it's not as easy to get back in. Does this make sense? Yes. Like, and some of us don't realize that. Some of us don't realize we've got a good thing. So what we do is we treat a good thing like a bad thing because of what we're consuming. Does it make sense? Is it full circle now? You see the connection? Like, if you are consuming the wrong thing, you will treat a good thing like a bad thing. Does that make sense? You see, all these people are there at the gate and they're all sick, bro. They're all sick, bro. But let me tell you something. I bet you at that place where they're all sick, I bet you there were celebrities in that place. The celebrity sick guy. Why? Because if you go to school, guess what? Someone's going to be the most popular guy. Someone's going to be the most popular girl. I bet you there was the most popular sick person there. I bet you there was the leader of sickness there. The person telling them, listen, bro, I've been here the longest, man. You man ain't never been here like me. I guarantee you, all of the characters that you find in all the different places of life would have been there. All there sick. All they're sick. And guess what they're doing with themselves? Giving themselves content. Consuming their own content. Instead of realizing, bro, we're sick, bro. What are we even doing here? We shouldn't even be here, bro. We shouldn't even be here with this 1 in 13 million% chance that we can actually get healed. We shouldn't even be here. But let's keep going. Emmanuel, sorry, back to you. I get excited sometimes. And guys, if you are on YouTube and you're getting some value or key takeaway, feel free to share it. Let's go.
Verse 6. When Jesus saw him lie and knew that he had been now a long time in that case, he said unto him, Wilt thou be made whole? The impotent man answered him, Sir, I have no man.
Sorry, let me say this. Do you think it's interesting that it calls this man, before he answers the question, the impotent man? Okay, you don't. All right. I think it's interesting that it calls this man, the impotent man, right before he answers the question. Do you know why I think it's interesting? Because I think it's telling us something. It's telling us he is impotent. Like, what does that mean? It means he doesn't know how to answer the question. They're trying to tell you something. They're telling you he's impotent right before he answers the question, so you don't think that this is how you answer this type of question. Do you understand that? He's a sick guy being asked a question about, do you want to be healed? And he doesn't say yes. He's been there for 38 years. This is the power of consumption, guys. When you consume the wrong thing, you will have the question asked you, do you want it? And you'll be talking something else. You'll be talking something else. Okay, Emmanuel, when you finish writing your note, feel free. Let's go.
Sorry, the impotent man answered, Sir, I have no man. When the water is troubled, put me into the pool, for while I'm coming, another steppeth down before me. Jesus said unto him, Rise, take up thy bed, and walk.
Awesome. Now, verse 9. And immediately the man was made whole. Okay, now there's so much I can say, but let me say this. How long do you think it took for the Red Sea to part? Hour? 8 hours? I'm curious. I don't know a scriptural answer. I'm just asking. Reginald? Straight away, right? Anyone else? What do you think? All right, you thought it was straight away. I thought it was straight away. Okay, so what's the word for straight away that begins with I? It's immediately. Immediately, right? So don't you think this is interesting? Don't you think it's interesting that when God is at work, things can happen immediately? Now, here's the funniest thing. Let me ask you, if Sam, how long do you think it would take you to split the Red Sea? Immediately? No, I doubt it, okay? I doubt it, right? Now, Samuel, if I ask myself, how long do you think it would take? It ain't happening, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, just keep it real. Why am I saying this? Because I'm helping you understand the difference between when we do things and when God does things. When God is doing something, it can happen immediately. When we are doing stuff, it may not ever even happen. Does this make sense? All right, let's keep it moving. I'm going to read the verses 9 to 12, and then we're going to go deeper into what we got to share. Let's go. All right. Are we there, guys, yeah? We there or are we distracted? Cool. All right, John chapter 5. I'm reading verse 9. And immediately the man was made whole. And immediately the man was made whole. And immediately the man was made whole and took up his bed and walked. And on the same day was the Sabbath. Verse 10. The Jews therefore said unto him that was cured. Okay, so now he's not called the impotent man. The Jews then said unto him that was cured. Now he's the person that was cured. Not based on his answer, based on God's work through Jesus. Okay, let's go. We got a lot to do and we don't have much time, so let's make it quick. All right. 10. The Jews therefore said unto him that was cured, It is the Sabbath day. It is not lawful for thee to carry your bed. Verse 11, he answered them, excuse me. He that made me whole, the same said unto me, take up my bed and walk. Right? I want you to understand this. The person who fixed me from being broke gave me an instruction. So should I follow what you're saying? A, because you're the majority, or B, because you're the first people to talk to me, or should I follow the person that fixed me? Do you understand this? Because this is what's happening in our world today. Because we can talk about the other side, people who are sick, maybe quote unquote non-believers, but let's talk about this side, people that are now whole. Because there are people that are whole who aren't following the instruction of the one who fixed them. And they think life is going to be fine and dandy. They don't realize, just like Eve, it's only a matter of time. Okay? Let's go. Verse, end of 11 and then 12. I'm going to read 11 again. He answered them, he that made me whole, the same said unto me, guys, we just don't even have the time. The same said unto me, take up thy bed and walk. 12. Then asked they him, what man is that which said unto you, take up your bed and walk? Okay? May God bless the reading of his word. Now, there's not enough time. There's not enough time to do this. All right, so. Cool. We're going to stop there. Okay? And I'm just going to share with you guys this simple thing, right? What you're consuming is either going to kill you and destroy you and steal from you, according to John 10:10, or it's going to be giving you life and life more abundantly. What you're consuming. What you're consuming. Okay? Now, it's easy to say consumption and think we're talking about food. Yes, there's different food types. Okay? Let me ask this question. Would it be helpful for you guys if I take another 10 to 15 minutes to break some stuff down so that you understand this scientifically? Okay? Because, guys, look, like, I can stop now, right? But I don't know if you're going to, like...
What are you going to break down? Yeah, that's I guess, key, depending on what you're going to...
What I will do is I'll break down an example in science to help us understand how things work. And then that way, you guys will be able to say, okay, so this thing that we've read and this thing that he shared is actually operating like this in, maybe I'll use the digestive system as an example. Make sense? Cool. All right, so should we do that? Okay. All right. So we spoke about consumption. Let's go into this. All right. Let me ask this. Are there certain animals that God said we shouldn't eat? All right. Do you know the classification of what he said?
Animals with a split hoof.
What did you say? Unclean. Yeah. So, all right. So, do you know the term that's used in Leviticus? Okay. So, in Leviticus, let me break it all down. All right. So, the Bible talks about clean and unclean animals. Okay. Now, why am I using this? Because consumption. We eat food, right? And some people eat clean stuff. Some people eat unclean stuff, right? So, is this helpful? Is this let me not ask, is this helpful? Because that's not what I'm asking. Has everybody heard the biblical designations of clean and unclean food? I have. Okay, good. Okay. Now, outside of clean and unclean, there's actually another group or subgroups. Okay. So there's a term God uses in the Bible. It's called those that chew the cud. If you've heard of that term, just say, I have. Okay, cool. So you've heard of clean and unclean. I have. And you've heard of chewing the cud. I have. All right, cool. This is super helpful, right? So now I'm going to give you the modern scientific so you understand all of this, okay? Now, chewing the cud scientifically is a process called rumination. Digestive rumination. Okay? If you want the accurate language, digestive rumination. Okay? All right, let's break it down. There are animals that are clean which do not go through the rumination process. Okay? There are animals that are clean that do not go through the rumination process. Okay? So obviously a good question to ask, Judy, stop. So obviously a good question to ask is, Samuel, what is the rumination process? I guess, right? Okay, so let's break it down. Animals that go through the rumination process, an example is a cow. Okay? The rumination process states that they will have food as an input. The food goes through their stomach. And although they have one stomach, they have 4 chambers in that stomach. Okay? Why is that number interesting? Judah, stop shouting. Why is that number interesting? Workable system. So there's a workable system within the digestive process of certain animals. Does that make sense? All right, cool. So rumination, right? So rumination or ruminant digestive system. This happens with a cow, for example. Okay? Now, let me give you the other side. This is what a lot of animals have. Does anyone know what mono means? Yeah? So monopoly, okay? One person has a many riches. That's monopoly. That's why it's called monopoly, right? So mono is one, poly is many, right? So one person gets many. So how do you win monopoly? The one person has to get everyone else's stuff, right? So if you don't have a rumination or ruminant digestive system, you have a monogastric. Anyone know what gastric means? Well, gastric talks of gases within the belly. So the gastric system is the gases within the belly, right? So monogastric system. Let's just leave monogastric on there, all right? So these are the 2 kinds of digestive systems you can have as an animal, okay? One is a ruminant digestive system, rumination. That means your stomach does the rumination process. The other is a monogastric digestive system. Now, let's break this down the same way. Food goes in as an input to the stomach. They still have stomachs as well. But they have one stomach. How many chambers do you think they have? One chamber. You guys are so smart. Monogastric. One chamber. Okay? Now, should I give you an example of an animal? Yeah? This is like a rabbit. A rabbit has a monogastric digestive system. A cow has a ruminant digestive system. Does this make sense? Okay, now, some people eat rabbit, right? Okay. And a snake, yeah, that's true. All right, sorry guys. The reason I'm pausing, I'm just questioning how deep to go with this stuff, right? Go on, champ. Just questioning how deep to go with this stuff. Now, let's unpack this. This is going to be helpful. Cool. All right. I think so. All right, cool. Cool. All right, let's unpack this. So, how many different digestive systems have I described? Okay, what's the first one? Yeah, rumination is the process or a ruminant digestive system. And the second one? Monogastric, all right? Monogastric digestive or a monogastric digestive system. All right, cool. This is helpful. How many chambers does a rumination process need? 4. How many chambers does a monogastric process need? 1. All right, cool. Now, give me an example of an animal that has a monogastric digestive system. A rabbit. Thank you. Thank you. Rabbit. Thank you. Give me an example of an animal with a ruminant digestive system. Cow. All right? Everyone's with me, right? Yeah. All right, cool. Let me explain something. You might not know this, or you probably know this because you've probably heard me say this before, but I'm going to explain it explicitly using the cow so you understand, right? A cow eats food. The food goes into the cow's stomach. The cow's stomach, in simple terms, vomits that food up. When the food gets vomited up, the cow re-chews the food. Okay? The cow does what? Re-chews the food. Okay? The cow does what? All right. Now, what you don't know is this happens. Whilst the cow is re-chewing the food, in its mouth, there's bits in the cow's mouth that goes into the food. Okay, so, let me explain that easy, because Kashina's face, right? So imagine you just ate, I have to be very clean with this. Imagine you just ate a grapefruit, and you have some grapefruit on your teeth, and then you swallow the grapefruit. Now, human beings, we have, do you know which one of these do we have? We have a monogastric digestive system. We have, okay? So imagine you ate grapefruit, you chewed the food, you swallowed the grapefruit. Now, here's a question. Is there still grapefruit in your mouth? Yes. Of course. This is why people... Brush your teeth. Thank you. Yeah. Fill in the blank. Right? This is why people... Perfect. Now, it's because Alex did that. I thought he was going to say floss. But yeah, this is why people brush their teeth. This is why people floss. This is why people need good oral health, right? This is why people have good dental care, right? Because there's still food in your mouth. Make sense? So if a cow eats grass, chews it up, swallows it, and because it has 4 chambers, it goes through those chambers and comes back to its mouth, chews it up again. It's not only re-chewing, it's also remixing the food. Does that make sense? So food with a ruminant digestive system is re-chewed and remixed. Does that make sense? Okay? It's re-chewed and remixed. It's what? Okay, now, the cow eats the food, it vomits the food back up, it chews the food again, we call it re-chewing. Whilst it's being chewed again, it's mixing the food again, we call it remixing. But then, it re-swallows. Does that make sense? Yes. Okay. And a cow does this again, and again, and again, and again, and again, until it doesn't need to do it anymore. So a cow with a ruminant digestive system eats food, vomits the food up, re-chews, remixes, re-swallows that food. It eats food, it vomits the food up, it re-chews, remixes, and re-swallows that food. Do you know what's happening in that process in the 4 chambers of its stomach? It's destroying toxins. It's destroying chemicals. It's remixing nutrients. It's making sure that by the time it consumes what it's consuming is clean. It has a workable system, 4 chambers, to ensure that what goes in is clean. Does that make sense? Someone ain't got this yet. All right. That's a cow. Does a rabbit have a rumination digestive system? No. So does a rabbit do that? No. All right, so let me tell you something. You don't know this. I'm going to tell you this. When a rabbit eats food, does a rabbit re-chew the food? Does a rabbit remix the food? Does a rabbit re-swallow the food? So here's the question. Does a rabbit ensure that what goes into its stomach is clean? You don't know this, but I'm going to tell you this. You might know this, actually, because we've got smart people there. Do you know what rabbits eat? What do they eat? They eat their own feces, but what do they eat? Okay. They eat straw. They eat lettuce. They eat vegetables. Okay, they eat carrots. Going back to our list earlier. Are they omnivores? Going back to our list earlier, are they carnivores? So going back to our list earlier, what are they? All right, you'd assume they're herbivores. But like my children said and my wife said, they also eat their own feces. Here's a question. Raise of hand. Did you know that rabbits eat their own poo? You didn't know that? You didn't know that? All right. So let me be nice to you. Did you guys know that? All right, cool. Let me be nice to you. Let me tell you why they eat their poo. So is that not nice? So, in my head I was thinking, let me be nice to you. Let me tell you why they eat their poo. Then in my head I was like, hey, is that really nice? All right, cool. Let me tell you why they eat their poo. I think it's going to be nice for you. I think it's going to be nice for you to know. They eat their poo because their food does not produce enough nutrients for them. Because they do not have a ruminant digestive system, when they eat the food is not remixed with nutrients. So they're just eating the food and swallowing the food. So the food goes in and out. And some of the nutrients in the food are still in the food. So when the food comes out, the nutrients come out, and that's why they eat their feces. They eat their feces to get nutrients. I don't know if you understand this. They eat their feces to get nutrients. What else is in their feces? Toxins. Consumption. Consumption. Now, here's something interesting. Does anyone know if God said we can eat cows? Did God say we can eat cows? Okay, yes. Right? Here's another question. Does anyone know if God said we should eat rabbit? A hare is a rabbit. Yeah. He said don't eat rabbits. Does anyone know why God said you shouldn't eat rabbits? No, it's toxins. It's because of toxins. So let me tell you why. Here's a scientific word. I know you guys like these long words, right? So the reason why is because a rabbit is something called coprophagia. It engages in coprophagia. What's coprophagia? Coprophagia is the eating of your own excrement in order to survive. Okay? The eating of your own excrement in order to survive. And rabbit does that. Rabbit's not the only animal. There's lots of animals that do that. Most animals, or a lot of animals with a monogastric system do that. Now what's interesting is human beings have a monogastric system. Now we're not animals, right? But we have that system, which is very interesting. Why is it interesting, Samuel? It's interesting because the Bible tells us we should not eat our own feces. Why would the Bible have to tell us that? Because when we discover that our digestive system is similar to animals that have the similar digestive system, we might think that we should do what they do.
Off the top of your head, do you know where the Bible says that?
Leviticus 13. In terms of don't eat poo.
I don't need to.
No, I'm asking, is that what you're saying? Where's the Bible say that? Yeah, Leviticus. Like the whole book of Leviticus, like most of what I'm talking about, the whole book of Leviticus is the map for that, right? 11 to 19 is all good, right?
Is that the same as seafood?
No, so there's types of seafood, but the answer is yes. All of that's in there as well. Okay, so Robbie, no, well, there's things you can eat. There's things you can eat. There's things you can eat that come from the sea, but we're going somewhere now. All right, cool. All right, let's go. I love this. All right. Let's go. All right. Do you guys want some more? Yeah. Oh, you mean for this? Yeah. So it's just because you said hungry, I'm like, yo, maybe she wants me to stop. All right, cool. Stop doing that. Okay, do you guys want more? Yeah? All right. So you guys have touched something. Michelle kind of brought it up, so I'm gonna go into this. Okay? So I asked the question, and Michelle answered, but this is not what I mean when I say she brought it up. I'll talk about what I mean when I say she brought it up. So I asked the question, and Michelle said, I asked, why do you think God said don't eat rabbit or don't eat hare? And Michelle said toxins. And I said, yeah, toxins, right? But I'll get into it deeper, okay? It is toxins. Now, let me give you something. I don't know if I should ask the question. All right, there is a process called biological magnification. Okay? Or, as it's commonly known, biomagnification. Okay? So there's a process, scientific process called biomagnification. Okay? What is biomagnification, I hear you asking? Biomagnification is how biological toxins become magnified. I'm going to explain that again in case you need to pick up your pen. Biomagnification is how toxins become magnified. Okay? Are you ready for the example? In the sea, you will have what I call, what do I call it? I call it the, let me use this word because it's going to be helpful. That's it. I thought so. So I call this the producer level. Okay? So this is what God created, the producer level. So an example of the producer level is seaweed. Yeah, seaweed. Like seaweed is in the ground, right? Okay. Quick question. Does seaweed eat anything? No. So this is what I mean by producer level. Okay? Grass is on the floor. Does grass eat anything? No. So when I say producer level, I'm giving an example so you know exactly what I mean. Okay? Now, these lot were laughing at me because of how I said it, so they might have to correct me in terms of how to say it, right? But then you have the plankton level. Did I say it right? Plankton. All right. No, not planting. That's what they were saying to me at home. They were like, Dad, are you saying planting? All right. So then you have the plankton level. Plankton are? Yeah, so they're the smallest kinds of like fish in the sea. Okay? Everyone with me? Okay? What do plankton eat? Seaweed. So the plankton level eat the producer level. Is this correct? Then you got another level. The next level I call the prey level. Yeah. P-R-E-Y. The prey level, right? Now the prey level are small fish. Okay? Now, do you know what small fish eat? Yeah, so small fish, in simple language, small fish eat smaller fish. So if you're in the prey level, you usually eat the plankton level. Does that make sense? So the prey level of fish eat the plankton level of fish, and the plankton level of fish eat the producer level of grass or whatever. Is this all making sense? All right, guys, stay with me, right? Because we're talking about biological magnification. Then you have what I call the predator level. What's the predator level? The predator level is the birds that eat fish, because they are the predators of them as prey. Or the bigger fish, as Michelle was going to, like sharks, that eat the smaller fish, that eat the smaller fish. Does this all make sense? All right, so are you guys ready for the lesson now? Biological magnification is one of the primary reasons why God has told us not to eat certain things. In our next session, today we're talking about consumption. In our next session, we're going to talk about climate. And I'm going to share something with you guys that I think is going to blow your socks off. I just prefer that than blow your mind. Yes, chap. Go on.
Just can you remind me where you got the term biological magnification from? Is that just the science?
This is science. Just Google it. Yeah. Just Google. Like, you guys, anything I'm talking about, you can Google. I don't make this stuff up. I might have my own names for it. But yeah. Yeah, I've created names for these 4 levels because I know it will be easier to remember. Yeah? Yeah? So you've got the producer level, you've got the plankton level, you've got the prey level, you've got the predator level, right? Now, let me show you what biological magnification is. Are you ready for this? Biological magnification is something that happens on a massive scale with sea creatures. And this is why I'm using this as an example, because Michelle's asked. But the same thing that happens with sea creatures in terms of biological magnification happens with us as human beings who don't necessarily eat sea creatures. This is why I'm showing you this, okay? And here's the thing that's interesting. We just got to the predator level, right? You know there's another level after that. Does anyone know the level after the predator level? It's the people level. It's human beings, people like you and me, who then go kill the bird, kill the shark, and eat the shark or eat the bird, if we want to. For example, is everyone with me? So I'm going to keep the people level out of it, and I'm just going to show you with the 4 levels. Everyone ready with that? Right? So watch this. With the 4 levels, inside of the seaweed are chemicals and toxins. Thank you, Elijah. So what happens is when the plankton, thank you, appreciate you. When the plankton, toxins and chemicals, yeah? So when the plankton eat the seaweed, the toxin goes into the plankton. You got it. You got it. You got it. Now, when the plankton eat the producer level, the plankton end up with the toxins of the producer level. Does this make sense? Yeah. Now, here's another thing that you might not realize. The plankton level of fish are eaten by the prey level of fish. And when the prey level of fish eat the plankton level of fish, all the toxins from the producer level and the plankton level now end up in the prey level of fish. Now, you might not know this, so I'm going to say this to show this. Prey level fish don't eat one plankton and say, oh, I'm full. Prey level fish eat multiple plankton in order to be full. So if every single one of those plankton have lots of toxins from the producer level, over time, there is a magnification of biological toxins at each of these levels. Does this make sense? This is kind of like Chinese whispers. It's kind of like if someone says trash to you in your ear, and then you go tell someone else some trash, 30 levels later, we are in a whole bunch of trash. Does this make sense? Yeah. Do you see why we're talking about consumption, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah. Let's go. So the producer level, you thought seaweed was good for you. Seaweed might be good for you. Sea moss and seaweed are different. Either way, seaweed might be good for you, but what we're talking about is not seaweed. We're talking about how the toxins from one level are magnified into another level and then magnified further into another level. And then obviously, guys, you know what's going to happen next, right? The prey level of food are eaten by the predator level of food, and predator level of food don't just eat one fish and say I'm full. So even though the amount of toxins in one fish might be manageable for that fish to stay alive, 8, 9, 10, 12, 15 of those fish being eaten by one predator is a magnification biologically of toxins. Does that make sense? Yeah. And then guess what humans do? At the people level, they go kill that bird or go kill that fish and they go and eat it. And they go and eat it. There's so much to say here. There's so much to say. Let me ask this. Do you guys know? Okay, so I just share this because Michelle asked about this. She asked about the sea creatures. So God says about sea creatures, he said if the fish don't have scales, you shouldn't eat them. Do you know why? You said it. Scales are a way for fish to excrete, for them to get stuff out of their system, toxins, urine, excrement. Does this make sense? I was watching some scientist the other day. He said something powerful. He was like, if you take a fish with no scales and you basically, or he said if you take a fish with scales and you basically freeze the fish and then you scrape the skin of the fish, he said that is like some of the most poisonous stuff any person could consume. Because you're taking the urine and the excrement of the fish, because that's what comes out through the scales. And it's on the body. I guess it's one of those moments, right? This is why you should wash your meat. Sorry, it's one of those moments. I was thinking, Robbie, if Robbie was teaching right now, she'd probably say that. So let me just add this in for those of you who don't wash your meat on the internet. This is why you should at least wash your meat. Yeah, all right. Yeah, don't listen to the FDA, she says. All right. But guys, are you hearing what I'm saying, right? So here's the thing that's interesting. Here's the thing that's interesting. So rabbits and hares, like I said, they eat their own excrement. And then human beings go and eat them. And they don't realize that the process of biological magnification is taking place. As toxins are going into that animal, those toxins are then going into you. Okay, now, I'm going to say this, right? Because you might not know this. There have been studies where they check the toxicity of all the animals that are basically on the earth. And what they have found is that every single animal that I've been told in the Bible that we can eat, have the lowest levels of toxicity to any other animals. I'll tell you a little secret. I like eating chicken. That's not a secret. That's not even a secret.
No, because I'm waiting for that.
Yeah.
You can't eat chicken.
No.
Chicken is monogastric.
No, chicken is monogastric.
Yeah.
Chicken is monogastric.
They eat their feces.
I think they do eat. No, not all animals. Not all animals. Okay.
Most birds do.
Let me say this. Okay, let me say this. Chicken was tested. Chicken was tested, which is why I brought it up. I said, let me tell you a secret. And obviously, I like food, so the secret ain't the fact that I like chicken, because you all know I like chicken, right? Yeah? Which is why the body said, I was waiting for you to say that. Yeah, I like chicken, guys. Everyone knows I like chicken, so that's not the secret. So wait, let me tell you the secret.
No, I'm just saying that, yeah. Because he's whispering. When you've been talking, yeah, he's been going, that's why I feel like God did part. And I'm saying, you have to let go of the pork.
You should let go of the pork. I'm being real. I'm being real. You should. Listen. Yeah, but listen. It's getting good in here. All right. Let me say this to help all of us. The money's touching stuff, which I've already said I don't have time to go through, right? So, no, we ain't got time. Listen. I shared with you there's 3 killers. The first one's consumption. The second one is climate. And the third one is condition. Now, I'm going to share this. I should wait to the third session, if we're going to have a third session, where I talk about condition. But I'm going to share this. Some of the things we eat, God has said we're allowed to eat. But if we understood the condition they're kept in, we wouldn't eat them. So my favorite animal to eat is the chicken. My favorite animal to eat is the chicken. And what's interesting is when they do the studies of biomagnification, of toxicity, chicken is like the lowest of the good. Like, guys, this shocked me. This made me say I might have to stop eating chicken. I'm just keeping it real. It's the lowest. No, it's the lowest. It's the lowest. That means no. Sorry. I get where the confusion is now. It's the lowest out of the good animals. So in terms of toxicity, okay. I don't want to confuse anyone. Can I explain? All right, let me make it clear. Let me stop doing that, please, Elijah. Let me explain. Not in a minute. All right, let me make it clear. Of the animals that God said we can eat, the chicken has what they call a 63% regrowth rate under toxic consumption. So let me explain how they did the study. They measure the toxicity in an animal's body. They measure the toxicity in an animal's body before and after they eat food. And then they measure the ability for that animal to reproduce and the toxicity levels that follow through biomagnification. Yeah, have children, have babies, right? And what they find is, for human beings, if you are above, if an animal is above 50% in the measurements that they use, that animal is good for eating food. The toxicity level is low because they have over 50% of a immune system that can fight against it, even if they've got a monogastric system. Does that make sense? Yes. Right? Now, of those, the chicken has 63%. So it's above 50. It's above 50. It's fine to eat, but it's way down in the list of things. Yes, like, bro, like something like a cow. A cow's like 89, 90. Like, why would you eat something with more toxicity? A cow is, like, I can maybe go as far as to say a cow is good for you. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, cows are at the top of that level with minimal toxicity. Why? Monogastric versus rumination. Yes, so you can eat chicken, but eating cow is better, according to this study. All right? Okay. So is everything making sense now? Yes? What about pork? Pork is sub 50. Pork is sub 50. It's not a go there. There's nowhere to go. Pork is sub 50. When we talk about condition, listen, we have to talk about pork because we ain't got a choice. Pork is the perfect example when we talk about condition. Look. All right, look. Bro, you need one-on-one too. Look. Let me read this to you. Give it to me then, if you don't understand what stop means. All right, are you guys ready for this, yeah? I'm now reading my notes, which stop shouting, which I didn't plan to do, okay? Let me read this to you, this paragraph. It's just because you keep talking about pig, all right? Monogastric digestion is the process by which a single-chambered, single stomach breaks down food into nutrients absorbable for the body. Examples of this are pigs, people, and poultry. Okay? So we do that. Chickens do that. Pigs do that. They have one chamber, one stomach to break down food to take out, extract nutrients. Does that make sense? When we talk about condition, pigs will be on the list because you can just imagine the condition they live in. Right? Now, I'm going to say what I said because what I said before I think is very important, even though I think it went over a lot of people's heads. There are foods, animals that God said we can eat, but because of their condition, which is why you're going to have to come back for that session, we should not be eating them. So, Damani spoke about chicken. I don't think...
Even if they're free range.
The question to your question is, have you seen their condition? The question to your question is, have you seen their condition? The question to your question is, have you seen the condition? That's the only question. No, bro. See, look, this is why what you're saying is important. Why?
Because of the condition.
So what you guys need to bear in mind is this. There are chickens, which are maybe the majority of chickens, but there are chickens that because they, like, guys, what is the purpose of the monogastric system? It is to extract the nutrients from your food. If you are eating food which doesn't have the right nutrients, you are now going to have to extract nutrients from somewhere else. The reason there are chickens that eat excrement is because the foods they're getting are not nutritious. The reasons there are chickens that eat other chickens is because the food they're receiving is, they're eating these pellets, bro, that are made up by men. That, oh yeah, that will fill it up. No, you are not giving it its nutrients. Now, we're talking about animals, and some of you think I'm talking about animals. I'm not talking about animals, I'm talking about you.
So we need to be vegetarians, basically.
No, you need to start consuming the right thing, basically. Because there's books you're reading that are like the rabbit, that are full of trash. Because there's shows you're watching that are like the pig, that come from a disgusting condition. Because there are people you're deciding to follow who are like the camel, who can't sweat. So all their toxins are remaining in their body. And then when you have sickness, you think, oh, you got sickness because of something you ate. No, you got sickness because of something you consumed. Does this make sense? Is this helpful? Well, the difference is consumption doesn't only happen through your mouth. Consumption happens through your gates. Through your gates. Your eyes are gates, exchange places. Your ears are gates, exchange places. And some of us would rather exchange with our gates with things we shouldn't consume. So why do we have problems in our life? Why? Isaiah says it better than I could say it. It says, woe unto those. That means there is a curse to these people. Who are these people? Those who call good evil and evil good. You see, if the chicken is kept in a condition that causes it to go from supposedly being clean to being unclean, you may be eating something you think is clean, but you're really eating something that's unclean. Is what I'm saying making sense? Some of us are doing that. Some of us are following certain people because they said, yeah, man, I'm a Christian. But what they mean is, no, they are into Scientology. And they're a Scientological Christian. And yeah, or even better. Thank you, Robbie. Like that's the issue. Some of us won't stop what we've been doing for 30 years and say, enough is enough. I want my stuff to work. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to consume this stuff anymore. I'm not going to let this stuff get in me anymore. I'm going to find a well where I want to dwell. And I'm going to get plugged in. Does this make sense? So, with that being said, we're going to wrap up. If you are joining us on YouTube and you got value, share a key takeaway inside of the chat. What was the biggest thing that stood out to you? What came to your mind? More importantly, what did you have percolating in your mind as a result of what we shared? So, with that being said, I'm going to close in prayer and we'll open up key takeaways, questions, comments, whatever you guys want to share. Let's go. Heavenly Father, I just want to say thank you for this time. Thank you for this share. Thank you that you've helped us understand that there is a killer called consumption. Help us, Father God, to be able to rightly divide through the truth so that we can be able to readily manifest and be ambassadors for you. I pray, Father God, that you will give us hindsight, insight, foresight, so we'll be able to live with oversight according to all the things that you have ordained for us in the matchless and mighty name of Yeshua, Jesus the Christ, I pray. Amen, amen, and amen. All right, guys, we're going to open it up. We're going to open it up. Quick question before we do that. Was it helpful for you to fill in the blanks? Yes. Was it helpful for you to repeat after me? Yes. Was it helpful for you guys to see the demonstration? Yes. Awesome. All right, with that being said, guys, it's over to you. Who would like to share key takeaways, questions, and comments? Let's go. Kashina, over to you.
So, it was great. The bits that I heard.
Just a bit louder than
this is the bit behind why sometimes I do things because I know it's the right thing to do academically, but I haven't actually learned the reasons why. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do get what you mean. I don't know if I agree with what you mean, but I do get what you mean. And the reason why I said I don't know if I agree with what you mean is because what I understand is that, can I be very blatant, right? Academic learning doesn't work. And the reason it doesn't work is because you don't know what you're trying to learn. So if you think you're doing the right thing because you've learned academically, you're actually not doing the right thing. Does that make sense? Like, for example, the Bible says God looks upon your heart, right? So if you're doing it because, oh, they told me to do it, that which would be an academic learning exercise, right? You're not actually doing it. Does that make sense? Yeah, so for example, this is really good. It's a really good question or statement or key takeaway, right? So this will help someone. Do you guys know that some of the wealthiest people in the world who are non-Christian tithe? Yeah? But do you know that they're not really tithing? Okay, so do you know because they're tithing, naturally, they will receive all of the benefits and blessings associated with tithing naturally. That's one of the reasons why they're way wealthier than other people, because they're practicing your principles. Yeah, and I learned this at 19, right? So I'll share it with you, okay? I learned this from a preacher, amazing preacher. Well, I used to think he was an amazing preacher. I used to listen to all of his stuff. When he came to London, I was there front row and center. And he taught me something super powerful. He said there are 3 parts to Jesus, okay? And he said this is where the church goes wrong. There's 3 parts to Jesus, and this is the exact reason the church is messed up, right? Or what people think is the church is messed up, right? This is what he said. There's the person of Jesus, and there's the principles of Jesus. And what he said is, if you practice the principles of Jesus, you will be rich on this earth. If you practice knowing the person of Jesus, you'll be rich in the life to come. Now, what we don't realize is that the wealthiest people on this earth are only wealthy because they do stuff that works. So if it works, who do you think created it? God. So they are practicing the principles that we have a book showing us what they are better than many of us are. So that's why they are rich on this earth. But in the life to come, for those who are not redeemed, they're not going to be rich in the life to come.
Charity.
Say that again?
It's like charity.
Yeah. So in the case of tithing, their tithing is actually, quote unquote, you might call it charity. But again, it doesn't matter. They're still going to get the blessings associated with tithing. Why? Because God's not a liar. It's got nothing to do with them. It's because God is reliable. So if you do what he said to do, whether you're saved or not, you are going to get the results of that. So what I'm saying to you is, most people who operate with the principles of God but without the person of God, they do that because they've learned academically to do so. So if you were raised in a house by millionaires and they teach you to do certain things because, no, that's just what we do, you'll be doing it academically and you'll get the benefits of that, but you're not actually doing that thing because you don't even know what that thing is. Does that make sense? So that's what I mean by, I don't slightly agree with it, but I understand what you're saying. Yeah, and hopefully that's helpful for you to understand that. Okay. The reason I said everything I said is because there is a risk with what you said of thinking, oh, well, now all I've got to do is start understanding why things happen. And the reality is you don't have to understand why things happen. You have to actually unlearn what you've been doing in order to actually learn what you should be doing. And they're two slightly different things. One takes longer. The better one. Just say it takes longer. It takes longer because when you start actually learning, you're going to. This is so good. So a perfect example of this is in the book of Acts when Saul is met by Jesus Christ, and he says to him, Saul, why do you kick against the pricks? I.e., why are you doing stuff that you think works, but it's working against you? Now, if you go and study Saul's life, he was one of the most learned Pharisees of his generation. So think about this. Like Christ is saying to him, you've gone through academic learning and you're the top of the top of the top. But what you're doing is counterproductive to you. Does that make sense? So that's why I'm saying to you what I'm saying to you. Because like obviously I could just be like a douchebag and just be like, oh yeah, Kashina, you're right. Or I can tell you the truth. Like the truth is no. Like if you know and recognize you've been developing accurate actions based on academic learning, it ain't just, okay, now I need to know why. You actually have to unlearn it. Because in the process, this is so good. If you read Matthew chapter 4, Jesus is tempted by the devil. And the devil paraphrases Psalm 91. And he misses out a word. Okay? He misses out a word. So what does that mean? He didn't paraphrase. He didn't recite Psalm 91. Make sense? If you read in Genesis chapter 3, the serpent, who's more subtle than anyone other in the field, any other beast in the field, goes and, in my language, attacks Eve. Right? But how does he attack Eve? He attacks Eve by saying, "Did God say?" What does that mean? We're talking about God. We're talking about God's stuff. So what's the point Samuel's trying to get? The point I'm trying to get across to you is a lot of the devil's lies that people live with are about and around God. So people who think they know the right thing, a lot of the time they think they know the right thing because the devil has strategically planted a this is the right thing in their head. So they think it's right, but guess why it's not right? It's not right because of one small iota of it that's wrong. One little bit that's missing. And that's the reason why, if you recognize, okay, all my life I've been doing some things right based on academic learning, the key is not to understand why you do those things. The key is to actually unlearn. Because in the unlearning process, you get rid of the small little lie that you didn't know was even there.
How do you unlearn?
The process of unlearning is exactly what I spoke about earlier, consumption. You have to find a source, find a well where you desire to dwell. It's the term I used earlier. You find a source of truth that you say, this is the truth. I see this is the truth. And guess what you do? You plug yourself in. You plug yourself in. It's the only way. Consumption. Great question. Let me show you why. Biological magnification. The same thing happens spiritually. We can call this spiritual magnification. What does that mean? If you are at a producer level where God has provided things for you and you're receiving information at a predator level, then you're taking all the toxins that go along with it. Whereas if you say, well, hold on a minute, I want to get my juice from the source. First and foremost, you're engaging with God yourself. Okay? So that's the first thing. You are having that correct connection. Second thing, you find sources that you know are speaking truth. How do you know they're speaking truth? You can see it. It's the truth. You can see it's the truth. Like what you just said is powerful. You said, you know what? I grew up as a Seventh-day Adventist, and some of this stuff they told us, but they never told us why. Why didn't they tell you why? Well, not only they don't know, one of the things I found with many Seventh-day Adventists, they are afraid to direct people to the Bible because they don't read it.
No, they would quote this hands down to anybody. That's it, but they don't know this.
Okay, let me tell you why they don't know this. Okay, because they don't read this. I'm not saying they don't quote this. Reading this and quoting this are two different things. So I'll give you an example. If I tell you, you shouldn't eat pig because, and my reason is, Ellen J. White said, you shouldn't eat pig. And Ellen J. White said, it also says that in Leviticus. That means I don't read the Bible. I'm telling you what someone said. And because I'm telling you what someone said, because I'm telling you what someone said, and the someone got it from a verse that I can say, oh, it means I got it from the Bible, that makes me feel like I got it from the Bible, academic learning instead of actual learning. So I have the confidence of the Bible says, but bro, you're saying it because Ellen White said. Does that make sense? So hopefully that helps. But yeah. All right, let's keep it moving. Guys, for those of you on YouTube, it's been a great pleasure. We're going to let you guys go now. The stream maybe, I don't know, you guys tell me. I think the stream might be going on for too long, but you tell me. But guys, with that being said, if you're watching this on a replay, share your key takeaway, comments and questions inside of the chat. And if you're watching this live, share your key takeaways in the live chat right now. And then good day, God bless, we love you guys, we'll see you later. Let's go. All right, someone's hand was up. Zechariah, go for it, champ.
So what I learned was there are different types of animals. There's unclean and clean, and I was gonna say, you taught me that some animals that we should and shouldn't eat, and you can't just know stuff all of a sudden. You have to learn it. So that's why.
That's powerful. What's the last thing you said? So that's why.
So that's why.
What did you say? I didn't hear what you said. Oh, so that's what you're thinking.
Why I learned.
Okay, that's perfect. Thank you for sharing, champ. Beautiful stuff. Helpful, beautiful stuff. Who's next, guys? Who's next? Key takeaways, questions, comments. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Emmanuel's looking. You ready? You not ready?
So you know you said 3 parts of Jesus. You mentioned 2, person and
Yeah. So the third part is
the third part,
the third part of the prophecies.
prophecy.
Principles, person, and prophecy. So obviously, if you want to have a wholesome life now and in the life to come, which is what the Bible promises believers, you need to be working his principles. You need to have fellowship with his person, and you need to be aware of his prophecies. His prophecies about himself and also about you from him, if that makes sense. But yeah.
If you could please expand about Daniel and
Yeah.
So do you want to just expand how that would be applicable? Not to say in layman's language that is not, doesn't make sense. It makes sense that you know that okay, there's a hurricane coming, okay, you're not going to take
Yeah.
shelter or
Yeah.
build a bomb proof or something.
That's powerful. Yeah.
So I'm just trying to understand more application how you can take that away and find a base on more.
So give me an area to apply it to. For example.
Whether it's a marriage,
Alright, marriage.
relationship.
Let's use marriage. Okay, so alright, we ready? We're talking about marriage. Yeah? So I'm gonna use the area, the context that you spoke about, but I'm also gonna use the content that you spoke about. So I'm gonna use you said the whirlwind coming? The example you said, if there's a whirlwind coming, you can duck under the table. Yeah. Tornado, that's it. Tornado. So I'm gonna use that. Alright, so let's use the content first and then we'll go into the content. So if someone knows a whirlwind's coming today, or sorry, if someone knows a whirlwind's coming in the next 10 minutes, you said they can jump under the table, right? Yeah, well, we ain't got a bomb shelter here, so we can jump under the table, right? For now. Okay. If someone knows a whirlwind is coming, a tornado, sorry, I need to remember. If someone knows a tornado is coming, in a year from now, what can they do? Prepare a bunker, build a bunker, move house, go to another country. Yeah. So the science, the principle I'm alluding to here for us to see is the deeper the time frame is that we have information, the more options available to us for us to create our transformation. Does that make sense? So so in simple terms, the longer ahead we're thinking, the more prepared we can actually be acting. Does that make sense? Right? And the same works if I take it out another time frame. I went from 10 minutes to 1 year. If I went to 10 years, it would be the same thing. If we knew a tornado was coming in 10 years, what could we do? Do you know what I'm saying? Your options are going to expand. Now, the good thing is we live in a finite world, right? So because we live in a finite world, most people don't know this, but because I'm into maths, I know this. There is still only a finite amount of solutions in terms of our options. Does that make sense? And because of mathematics and the way mathematics works, there's going to become a time frame where our options become what we call negligible. Does that make sense? Should I explain it? Yeah, so for example, if I say to you, if a tornado is going to come in the next hour, what can we do? And let's say all the options are 12, for example, whatever, it's a finite number, but let's say it's 12, right? Then I say, okay, a tornado is going to come in 1 year, what can we do? And let's say we say all the options, and we actually figure out all the options. The options, firstly, are they going to be more than 12? There's going to be a lot more than 12, right? So let's say we exhaust all the options and there's 1 million options. Make sense? Right? Now, then let's say, I say, okay, well, the tornado's coming, but it's coming in 10 years. And we go and we check out all the options then. And we see all the options are 10 million options. So if the tornado's coming in an hour, there's 12 things we can do. If the tornado's coming in a year, there's 1 million things we can do. If the tornado's coming in 10 years, there's 10 million things we can do, roughly. Everyone with me, yeah? Alright, now, what I'm saying is, because we live in a finite world, there becomes a time where the additional options become negligible. So, let's say a tornado's coming in 200 years. And okay, a tornado's coming in 200 years. Well, the first thing is most human beings aren't even going to be alive. So, by that virtue, I didn't think about that, but that's helpful. By that virtue, the options are negligible. It doesn't matter what you can do, because in 200 years, you're not going to be here. So you can only do stuff. So your list of 10 million for what you could do in 10 years is only so valuable. Because we live in a finite world, the more we move time out, there becomes a time where the list of things we have are the most important list. Because the things we're going to add aren't really making a difference. Does that make sense? So that's what I mean by additional solutions become negligible after a certain amount of time. Okay? Is what I'm saying making sense? Yeah? As long as you guys are getting it. Alright, cool. So, yeah, okay, so you understand those parameters I've shared, Emmanuel, yeah? Alright, so now that's the tornado. Let's take that and talk about marriage. Okay? So, I'm going to share something I know about marriage that I seem to see most people don't know about marriage. Okay? Because I just think it'll be helpful and it's easier for me to talk about, right? So I find that most people don't realize that marriage is an office. Yeah? So because marriage is an office, like think about it like an actual office, right? An office doesn't come to you. You go to an office. Does that make sense? Like if there's an office in Canary Wharf, like it doesn't matter where you live in the world, that office is never going to come to you. You have to go to the office. Does that make sense? Right? So that's how if you study the Bible shows you that marriage is an office. Marriage is not a relationship. Most people think marriage is a relationship, so they treat marriage like a relationship, then it ends up becoming like a relationship, and then they are upset because it was a relationship. Marriage isn't a relationship, marriage is an office. It's an office that you can choose to be in or be out, which is why some people choose to be out and have divorce. Is what I'm saying making sense? Now, because marriage is an office, like any office, marriage is governed by the rules of the office. It's not governed by the rules of the man. It's not governed by the rules of the woman. It's not governed by the rules of the times. It's not governed by the rules of the... Like, is what I'm saying logically making sense to you guys? Like, this is why marriages go wrong, because people don't realize... Marriages go wrong because people don't realize that the rules marriage are governed by have got nothing to do with you. And in order for you to have a successful marriage, you have to go out of your way to learn the rules of how the office is governed to have a successful time at the office. Does that make sense? And most people don't do that. Like, I was recently informed of a couple whose marriage is not going very well. And what's interesting about that couple is I know those two people, or at least one of the people, are not interested in finding out how the office of the marriage operates. They've never been interested in that. I've known that person from before they were married. They're not interested in that. So, how do you think you're going to have a successful marriage with someone who doesn't want to know how the rules of the office work? You might have a successful relationship for some time, but the marriage is not going to be successful. Does that make sense, right? So now let's template this with a tornado. If you understand the office of marriage, that's information, then you can prepare for your marriage prior, or prepare for your marriage during, or prepare for your marriage after X amount of time, and win. Why? Because it's like the tornado. We know it's coming. We know what's happening. We know all of this stuff. Let me tell you one of the things that's so powerful to learn about marriage. It's an office that the devil doesn't like. Like the moment you understand that, guess what? Like, bro, you're already 90% prepared. Why? Because someone's gonna try and break up the office. It has to happen. Why? Because this is an office that the devil doesn't like. Does that make sense? So these things, these revelations, these insights, they come out of understanding things now rather than trying to wait to understand them later. And again, it goes back to what I said to Kashina as well. Like if you recognize, yo, I've got this all wrong, I haven't had an understanding of this the way I should have, then the key is not to just be like, okay, I'm going to fix up tomorrow, because that doesn't work. Willpower doesn't work. It's not a question of your will, it's a question of